There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing pretty good. Sorry about missing the stream last night. It turns out I have like carpenter ants or some weird type of ant that digs into the wall of the house, so it took me a long time to like clean up a lot of the ants that were trying to flow through. Put up a whole bunch of spray. You guys might see it right. Let me block my head. Right there. There you go. You can see my bug repellent stuff that I had to spray all over the walls. No ants today, but I'm still gonna have somebody check it out later on this week. But I game at that chair right there. I try to game the middle one, but on the side you have the recliner, so it's really nice. But what do you call it? I don't want to have ants crawling on me while I'm gaming. It just would feel too weird, too awkward. Okay, but happy to see you guys all back. Let me see how everything's looking up here. Hey JT, or see me GT. Hey Alex Maris, hope you guys are doing well. Next level. Starscream Maris, I am broke. Bradius and Starscream, hope you guys are doing good. Let me make sure I'm watching everything right here. All right, there we go. All right, let me move some stuff around on my side here and we should be okay. And hey again, Bradius, hope you guys are doing well. So guys, again, sorry about not being able to stream last night. Ants showed up and I got to get rid of ants. I don't like, one of my phobias is actually waking up and there's ants crawling on me. Freaked me out. All right, oh, here, hold on. Loki says hello. He wants a treat. We went and got treats at the store today. Yep. All right, a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a pretty long night. I'll probably be here for like the full 2 hours, maybe even 2.5, 3 hours. The market's, the market's still in an okay spot. It's not good, as you guys know, but there's still an opportunity for us to reverse. I'm hoping that this week is going to be that choppy week that we have, leading us to have a bounce either later on this week or going into next week, kind of bouncing off of the NASDAQ here, the 200 weekly moving average. So we're going to be talking all about that. Talking about the dollar index because it keeps on going up. The pound is continuing to crash. It is just scary to watch that sucker go right now. And then going over any of the questions you guys have. Before I get started, you guys know I took a long at 18,500. Once we crossed above 20,000, I did up my stop losses. I told you guys yesterday, up to 19,000. The stop loss got hit today. And I basically walked away with like a $500 profit, basically, 500, whatever, like a few percent profit, like maybe a 5% profit after all the fees are paid and stuff like that. So it was okay, but I really wanted us to just continue going up. I think what's interesting right now is how the traditional markets are still kind of creeping down just by a little bit here, but they are creeping down more and more and more, waiting for either a big drop off like we're going to be talking about, or we're going to have a really nice bounce. Either way, there's going to be some extreme volatility coming here, and I'm ready for it. I'm just hoping the extreme volatility really comes next week, but we're in Tuesday so far, not too many moves. Let's see how everything pans out. All right, and let's see. And hey, Can, drive safe, man. Let me know if you have any questions as well after you get home. And there we go. Good evening. Good evening. Bideford, Miss Pepin, Nico, Christine. Hope you guys doing well. And hey, Kenny G. Let's see. All right. And hey, Rohit as well. Make sure. And Kilo. There we go again. I made 4K on my short this morning. Congratulations, Christine. That is awesome. All right, guys, let's take a look at this. And again, this is a new setup for me as far as my stream is considered. So give me a little bit of time to kind of fix that up very fast. You guys won't notice the nitpicky stuff, but I do. Okay, but first we should talk about the NASDAQ here, because as we've had multiple days to kind of check this now, if we kind of just zoom in here on the 200 weekly moving average and the NASDAQ's price action, we've officially broken down below it. Even if it was just for the short term, we have officially touched the 200 weekly moving average. Now, just to kind of recoup this a little bit, or kind of bring this back up again, traditionally, when we actually tap on the 200 moving average for the first time, right, we tend to bounce off it. We bounced before it, and actually we did this cycle as well. We bounced before we even came into contact with it for a bear market rally. However, this time, if I zoom in here, first week, second week, you can see I was kind of tricky, but eventually we bounced. I'm hoping that we can have a bounce sometime this week or next week. Again, this is still a theory and work, so there's not a 100% chance that we're actually just going to bounce. With the way the economy is looking and everything, we might just break down. However, I'm trying to believe in some historical context here that we can bounce off of such a major moving average, the 200 weekly for the NASDAQ, and that we will at least get a few weeks of stability before eventually crashing back down. We'll have to see if we do eventually crash back down, but I really want to hope that, inflation data and stuff like that might help us out a little bit going forward. But again, that's going to be a while off here, guys. All right. And then the last time we bounced before the 2008 financial crisis, We bounced. It was only for like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Not bad, actually, 6 weeks. Not the months that we had from 2008, but we did manage to bounce here as well. I'm hoping that we can do something similar this time. That's the goal for this week, to not really close down below it on the weekly. Because remember, we didn't close down below it. We just tap it. Both times we tap and then we move up. If we actually close down below it, I'd be a little bit more concerned. It's only done it a few times in history where it's at, but this is coming out of a bear market, I guess. So it's a little bit different circumstances than coming from all-time highs. But that's the big news for this week. I wanted to tell you guys that last night, but ants and all that good stuff. So if we go over here, I wonder if I can actually keep this on the 200 chart. It is on the weekly here. Let me get rid of the 20 and the 50. Let's move this over to a pointer, an arrow, and let's go over here to the daily chart. You guys can see right now how we're trying to bounce off it a little bit. So we finally come into contact with it. We'll kind of still be watching this for the next few days, but the NASDAQ hasn't hit new lows for the year. It's still about from today. Oh, I need to go to Magnet for this one. I want to be precise. We still have to fall down another 1.24% from the lows of today, which means if the market opens up tomorrow and we fall more than $234 or more than 2.0%, we've hit new lows for 2022. All right. Now, some of the other ones you guys might have been paying attention to, the SPY. We actually did hit new yearly lows today. This was not a good sign, but we hit new yearly lows, getting very close to the 200 weekly moving average for the SPY as well, although it's not nearly as reliable as, the NASDAQ one has been over the past few years. Okay, last one is Dow. This continues to break down below the 200 weekly moving average. And on top of that, we have hit new yearly lows again, but we did that a few days ago when Jerome Powell was giving his speech, Friday, or the day after. So, yuck. We're still breaking down here pretty hard. Just for you guys' perception very fast, I just want to show you guys this. 2000 crash, financial crisis crash, COVID crash. This is just a traditional bear market. We don't know how much worse it's going to be going. But again, when we usually do start breaking down below this 200 weekly moving average as well, you tend to see some bad effects as well. I'm hoping we can actually bounce up above this. But the last time we broke down below it, the 200 ended up being a level of resistance that we had to break back above. I'm hoping we can do that again. So again, this is a monthly chart here, monthly chart for the SPY. I mean, we're still very high up, everybody. We can definitely have this big flush coming out over the next few months, and that's what I'm hoping for. The flush representing just a mega crash over a 2-month period of time where everybody's freaking out. That's normally where we're going to be buying in. That's normally where I buy a lot of my heavy dividend plays, because I'm looking for the market bottom at that point, and I'm looking for the market, like, when we have that big flush, I'm hoping that we're not really down for more than, I'd say like 5-6 months if it really comes down to it with a really bad recession. But like 5 or 6 months, I could see us bottoming out. More likely 3 to 4 months, like how much money is in this economy nowadays. So I'm hoping that'll help me out. But I am in the process. I'm like halfway done right now with the recording. I still have to edit it. But I'm in the process of choosing 5 dividend plays that I'm doing, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys as well. I'm actually already in those dividend plays here. But it's a high dividend yield video I'm going to be making for you guys, and I'll upload it sometime this weekend. If not, maybe I'll be lucky on Friday, and we'll see how this goes. Quick note before we start going into the dollar index: Thursday is my birthday, so I probably won't be streaming. I'm going to be buying sushi for everybody, so for my mom and sister. So we're gonna all eat sushi together, eat some eel, eat some sea urchin. It's gonna be really nice and fun. So I probably won't stream Thursday. If I do, I'll probably, I actually plan to, but it's gonna be more in the afternoon, like maybe around noon time when I'm actually like still gonna be working. I don't think there's ever been a birthday where I haven't worked, but I won't be streaming in the evening. I will be streaming more in the middle of the day. I probably will do that here. And Friday should go back to normal time. I'll probably stream from anywhere from like 6 to 9 or 7 to 10, something like that. Okay, I want to have a good Friday night, and I'll probably drink some good old boozy booze with you guys. All right, but now going over here to the dollar index chart, everybody, this just is not what we want to see right now. This is the daily chart, and you can see we're still breaking new highs every day. You know, we continue to chug. Actually, yesterday we came a little bit lower, but we're still managing to move up here pretty aggressively. I want to go over here to the watch list for a little bit. There we go. Let me open this up all the way. There we go. But we're still chugging. Now, if we are to have some type of dip right now where we, you know, where we have, maybe it's a few days, maybe it's a few weeks of us, you know, coming back down before ultimately continuing this trend, as long as Jerome Powell wants to raise those interest rates, we should be seeing a top sometime this week, I'm hoping, and then, or next week, and then we start coming back down pretty drastically, maybe back to 112 or so, maybe even 111, before ultimately making another run up here during the next interest rate hike. Because guys, I mean, we're getting kind of an overbought territory here. I don't even know if the RSI would even call this overbought, but let me check this out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we are over in overbought territory. Okay, I wanted to eyeball it first. And you can see when we normally get up to this territory, we tend to come back down eventually. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it hasn't been that big of a deal for it so far. We just kind of keep on going here. Let me exit that right there. All right, now monthly chart. You know, we all, I mean, I think frankly, a lot of us kind of understood that we were going to break this top here, you know, a few months ago, and ever since then it's been running up. I think even I am a little bit like shocked about how fast we really ripped off of all this. I didn't foresee other countries' currencies going down so much, but I mean, they've really just been crashing against the strong dollar here. But guys, we're getting closer and closer. That resistance level I want you guys to be looking at for the next few months, as we kind of test out all these new rate hikes from Jerome Powell and such. That new resistance level that we're going to be talking about is right here at $121. Okay, $121. You know, if we break $121 for the dollar index chart, we're going to be at like 40-year plus in a strong dollar, which is just going to be crazy. We've never had this happen before, but this is a good opportunity for the market to have some type of top, like a double top feature, where we eventually start coming back down. So, you know, I'm hoping that we can find some resistance up here. I don't know how bad that's going to be or how quick it's going to be, but we're moving up here pretty fast. If we kind of go at this rate, it'll probably be next month or the month afterwards. I'd be surprised if it kept on mooning like this, but you know, it's not just the dollar here. It's how's the pound doing? How's the euro doing? And those central banks over in Europe, each of the individual countries, and in England, they're having some struggles right now based on what the politicians are doing. And just the general, you know, vibe of inflation. It's just not a good sign here. But yeah, guys, this is absolutely insane. If we go over here back to the daily chart, I know you guys have been hearing about the euro and the dollar and the pound. I mean, the pound, guys, it just freaking collapsed. I just want to do this right here. Let's add this to just $1. We can keep this on for a while, guys. Look at this. You know, we're at $1.06. A couple days ago, we were at $1.03, 3 cents and a half. You know, I go back to the monthly chart here. You know, back over here last year in 2021, it was up here at 1 pound was worth $1.41. Now 1 pound is equal to just $1.06. The value that the pound has lost against the dollar is about 25%. 25%. That is massive. And as you guys can see, ever since 2008, it's just not been able to recover. However, I do think if you guys like Forex, and I like Forex trading every now and again, but primarily longer term trading, term trades. There we go. There you go. I think there may be an opportunity for us to have a breakout above this in the future. You can see we actually managed to break out a while over it. It didn't really work out too well because I would say economic things happened, but it was on a good path to continue moving up here. Maybe I can actually adjust this to this one if we're really going to have to be more specific about it. I wish it wasn't too bad. There you go. Might be something like that. But until then, guys, I'm being very cautious. You know, we had this level of support here for the British pound. It didn't really do anything. And we had this support level over here at $1.05. We broke through all-time lows. So the pound, we don't really know how bad this is going to get. But if they're going to have a full-on currency crisis, it's going to affect everybody in Europe. It's going to affect all of us in the United States. And it's not going to be pleasant. The pound is supposed to be a very strong currency. It's not supposed to look like this. This is what you would see normally from a developing country. People call them third world countries, emerging markets, whatever your term is for them. countries that don't have like really solid currencies underneath their like really good central banks. So keep this in mind, everybody. This is kind of a red flag for the future. The euro hasn't hit new lows. It's still, you know, it's still new. The lows here is like 53 cents, but it is crashing down all the same. I just really hope they can start raising rates even higher, although I don't think they can because they're also going into recession right now, and England is in a recession right now. We want to see Europe and England get kind of fixed up to help the US dollar. The dollar against the yen has also been doing fine. You know, the dollar strengthening against the yen. $1 equals 144 yen. And I think you could also add on here right now, Japanese yen, excuse me. Let's see. Which one is it? I'm searching for a tool. I wanted to search for a, there you go. Why am I thinking the yen? Yuan. God, I always forget how to spell this. Okay. US dollar to the Chinese yuan. So the US dollar to the Chinese yuan, if we're going up, the dollar is getting stronger. We're kind of soaring just like this right now. And we broke through the highest from 2019. So the dollar is getting very, very strong. And you guys can see that China usually has been devaluing their currency for a long time. And that was bad for us, I guess. But now it's kind of reversing a little bit. So yeah, we'll just see how all this runs out, guys. But yeah, the currency markets are really fun. I know you guys don't care about them too much, but they're just telling so many crazy stories. The most important, the ones I'd be watching is the euro, GDP, the pound, and then the dollar index itself. I'm mostly watching the dollar index, guys. But yeah, it's just yuck. On the other hand, if you guys like cheap gas is continuing to go down because the recessionary fears are getting much, much worse. And you can see we had a breakdown a few months ago as well. It looks like here, at least for the monthly chart. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing a nice breakdown, everybody. Let's see how much further this really wants to go. But this is the monthly chart right here. As long as inflation continues to get worse, we're going to be in a little bit of a pain. This hurricane may stabilize us just a little bit, but you know, let's wait it out. If you guys like cheap gas, it should get cheaper here over the next few weeks, though. All right, natural gas. Be more careful. That's a little bit more irregular here. Now. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Still look okay on the screen. There we go. Okay. Now, one last thing before I go into a deeper dive of Bitcoin here, and I answer some of you guys' questions. We got simple moving averages, top left-hand corner, simple moving average. EMAs right here, exponential moving averages. Over here, you got your double exponential moving averages. Over here, you got your triple exponential moving averages. We have a death cross on this one. Let's see how it affects everything. We have a death cross on the EMAs. Let's see how it affects everything. As far as the DEMAs are concerned, they don't really matter as much. Same with TEMAs here. But if we take a quick little peek here, for the DEMAs, we're starting to cluster up a little bit. We are expecting a little bit of a move here, guys. We don't know how bad that move is going to get, but you know, or how good it is. We just know we're going to see some volatility here. Normally we don't cluster up for that long. You see how long this has been happening. This is a daily chart. We've been clustered up for like what, 14 days, 15 days about. You guys know I trust the TEMA more than the DEMA as far as the clusters, but you know, it's rare that we've actually like been this consistent. We're not used to that. Look at back in time. It's rare that all three moving averages on the DEMA are actually that close together for that long. It doesn't happen that often. Maybe around here, right? But it rarely ever happens, which is kind of interesting here. Now, the last one, we're going to look at the TEMA. Let me make sure this is fine. Okay, that's good. We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. We usually look for these types of clusters right here. Clusters, more of a cluster like that, less of a cluster like that. That was actually a little bit overextended, if you ask me. But usually when we get all the TEMAs, the triple exponential moving averages close together, we do seem to have a pretty large move. I'm hoping that means it might come sometime in October and not now. If we have I'd be perfectly fine if we retest the lows of 17,500 and we even dip down to like 16,000 or so, and then we have a pivot. I'd still be fine with that. Although I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably freak out if that does happen. But yeah, so we're most likely going to be having some volatility over the next few weeks, which I adore. Not just for the reasons of the team, as well as stuff we've talked about here before. Okay, but going over with Bitcoin, there's a few things we can talk about here. The first one would be this one right here. Let me open up that. Let me open up that a little bit. So you can see on the weekly chart here, we didn't close below this Gann fan right here. We barely held it. but we managed to open up our next weekly candle below the GANFAN because it was going up at a pretty sharp 45-degree angle here, or this one actually probably a little bit less than the 45-degree angle. However, the goal for this week, if you guys want to play a GANFAN trade, is for us to find a way to close above $19,000. That happens to be where the GANFAN is at least for this particular week. So if I kind of zoom in right here, you guys look for this week, right where the intersection happens, that's about $19,020. If we can manage to close above that, there's an opportunity for us to have a pretty strong rebound next week. And just so you guys know, we just broke down below this Fibonacci circle, telling us that we are going to have a stronger move coming pretty soon. And then next week, we're going to break out of, you probably say break sideways of this other Fibonacci circle. So we're getting close to a pretty volatile movement. Just don't know which way it's going to happen, everybody. If I was to guess, I would say off of historical terms, the NASDAQ wants to bounce. But if the economy is so bad, maybe we just go into free fall here. I really hope we don't go into free fall here. I'd like to see technicals work out the way I want them to, but you know, sometimes I don't get it right. So I'm preparing for both. But man, I really just want to see us close above. I really want to see us close above 15,000, even 19,000 bucks this week. Oh, hold on, I got messages from somebody on my phone. That's okay. Okay. Oh, and something else. Before we start going over Bitcoin here, because there's not really much to talk about Bitcoin over the last few days. We've just been doing a whole bunch of hot nothing, right? A whole bunch of hot nothing. On Friday, I will be streaming probably, I told you guys probably at the same time. I'll probably end up streaming it from 8 to 10 or 8 to 11. I just remembered that I'm going to NFT Seattle. I wasn't going to go out first to this, but they gave me a media pass, which means instead of paying between $129 to $409, I pay $0 because I'm a media influencer person, which is really nice. So I will be going to this, taking some pictures and seeing what I can find out, and I'll probably make a video about it, because what I'm going to be doing here is a lot of networking, talking with people in the industries, pretty much the startup crowd of Seattle that's involved in this blockchain Web3 space, NFTs. I'm going to be talking to all of these people. They have a lot of cool sponsors there. I really want to talk to the sponsors. The sponsors include Circle. I don't know if you guys know these brands, but sponsor Pinata, Seattle NFT Museum. Like, I really want to kind of talk to a lot of these people and see what I can learn and kind of gain some insider knowledge, so I can kind of share that with you and also share that with myself so I can get some good trades out of it. And I'm not talking about illegal insider trading stuff, but just like, hey, how's the market in Asia doing? The person that would know that more than me would be some other friend I would probably make at this event, you know, so I can have some good info there. Okay. And hey, Fitz, thank you for the super chat, my man. I really do appreciate it. If Camber Energy is up like 19 cents, should I load up in case fuel goes up? I'm glad I was able to find it by typing it in. Okay, so if Camber is up like 19 cents, so this is going to be a high risk play. You're not going to be sure when the bottom is going to come in. Right now, you're fighting between two things as far as gas prices are concerned. Will the hurricane damage any infrastructure that would lead to less gas flowing, right? Or is the recessionary fear so great that oil prices continue to come back down? If you want to buy into CEI, you're probably going to dollar cost average into it for at least a week or so, hopefully that somehow it bounces while you're dollar cost averaging. But you're also going to be looking at the oil prices here, and with those oil prices, you're going to want to see if they're going to be bottoming it out as well. So here is UK oil. Actually, we want to check out US oil. Oh gosh, I just hate when it went negative. It always looks so nasty. You're going to want to find a way for this to actually find some type of short-term support. I don't know exactly how that's going to look, but that's what you're going to be doing here. So right now, what you're looking at is this support level right around here, around $76.95. If we can manage to hold it this week, maybe we have a reversal next week. So you might want to start dollar cost averaging to, I guess, tomorrow when the market opens up, and that may help you out a little bit. So I mean, that could be it. But this is going to be a risky one just because those two pressures, hurricane versus recession fears, they're going to be conflicting for a while. So I think the best thing you could do is dollar cost average with however much money you want, frankly. But while you're trading, you have to be monitoring the oil place here, because this thing is currently in free fall. It should stabilize probably somewhere around like 18 cents. Maybe it already stabilized at the bottom. You could buy into it. High risk play. If you're buying it at 18 cents, I'd probably have a stop loss around 15 cents just to call it safe. But usually when you're going to be doing something this volatile, you're probably not going to have a stop loss until it's like 12, 10 cents, because then it really has to drop hard. You don't want to be shaken out before a potential big move would occur, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I would really do like a big YOLO type play, dollar cost average into the YOLO, have a really ridiculous stop loss of around 10 cents or so, hold it and wait for oil to reverse short term. As it pumps up, hopefully maybe back up to 20, 22 cents, you're going to be able to turn a really good profit there. If it goes up higher, even better. But you know, the highest I can see this thing probably going back up to is maybe 24 cents, maybe 26 if you get really, really lucky there. Let's see. And hey, Starscream, thank you very much for gifting memberships. I don't know how to gift memberships because YouTube, like, basically for me, this is going to sound really weird. When I was doing, remember when my channel got banned off of YouTube? That was when they were first instituting gifting memberships. And because of that, I never got the tool added onto my account because my account was banned during that time frame when they were updating everything. So basically there's no way for me to do that. I could try to ask though. Thank you very much, Starscream, and welcome to the, remember guys, welcome to Rohit. I can't, maybe Rico backwards. I can read that. Fat Buddha, Biden did that, and June Yoon. Thank you guys very much, and thank you very, very much, Starscream. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I really, really do appreciate that, man. I really, really do. And let me make sure I do this very fast. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I screenshotted that because I'm happy. Thank you very, very much, man. I really do appreciate it, Starscream. Make sure I'm not missing anything here, guys. And hey, Island Time. Dude, survive that hurricane, man. I hope you're not on the west coast there. I hope you're on the eastern side. I have a few friends on the eastern side there. They're telling me the wind is already getting there. Not crazy yet, but it's getting there. But I haven't talked to them since this morning, so it's probably worse now. And what's right here? Make sure right there. And hey, buddies, you're going to Denver for surgery in 8 weeks to acute care facility. Got to find a cheap place to stay for 2 months. I hope everything works out, Brad. It's never fun when you have to travel for surgeries. I've had to do it with my mom a couple times, but we've been kind of lucky that the majority of the stuff she's needed has always been in Seattle. So it's like you know, only a drive, not a flight. So I wish you all the best, man. It's right here. And hey, Pepin, unless Bitcoin was a Bart Simpson and the bottom now is an inverse Bart. Oh, you're probably talking about a rectangle or inverse rectangle. Yeah, that can be pretty annoying here. You could pretty much draw Bart's head into it, can't you? And hey, One Shot, can you go over your thoughts on Litecoin? It had a good bounce back off the Bitcoin drop today. I'm in at 628, thinking of adding 2 to my position. Let me see if I can find this very fast. Litecoin. That one should work out fine. Go to YouTube. There we go. So you're at a good price here. Let me do a couple things. I just want to see how this would work out, depending if we're going to really old trend lines or not. So you are hitting a level of resistance right now. Now, what happens if I go over here very fast? There's probably another one. Relative low, high, low. You're also hitting one right here. So yeah, hitting a little bit of resistance. Okay, so right now I would say this is usually where I would scale out some. You don't have to necessarily sell all of it or anything like that. This is where usually I would lock up some profits. You were really, you did a really good job of buying them around like 680 is where you said it. Excuse me, 628. Yeah, so you managed to buy it way down here at a really, really good price. Whether it's here or a few weeks ago, doesn't matter. But you're up a good amount of money here. You had a pretty decent level of resistance based on, you know, 4 more highs over the past like 2-3 weeks. Also, you're dealing with a bunch of Fibonacci extension levels that just seem to be kind of sticky here. I would scale it a little bit. I probably would move my stop loss up to maybe $7.30. That way, at least from that 720 or 628 level you bought, you know, 720 or so. Yeah, let's just say 720. You'll start walking with like 14% profit. If you want to go a little bit higher than that, you might go 739, 740, in which case you locked in another like 17% profit no matter what happens up here. So this is normally where I would scale out a bit. I'd move my stop loss up a little bit, and then I would start thinking about the next level of where I could see it going. But right now, I definitely would be taking a chunk out of here just to lock in some profits, because if you bought at 628, you know, you're up about you know, like 27-30% right now. That's a great return if you ask me. But again, you may see it go about higher as we kind of wait off the NASDAQ and see how that's going to be doing. Right? If we're going to have a solid bounce off of that, Link's going to go sky high. You're going to see a lot of other stuff go sky high as well. But it depends on if you want to, you know, do that trade specifically, or if you want to stick to that trade, kind of sell off as you will. And then maybe if Bitcoin or NASDAQ does start bouncing from here, you can always add to your position, knowing that the bounce would actually take, usually takes a few weeks at most, right? In this circumstance here, the bounce lasted, let's just say from the highs, it lasted 70 days, but it also, you know, before we ended up breaking down, it was 182 days. While over here during the bubble, where everything was, you know, went up really, really fast, kind of like this cycle, we only bounced for like 41 days, but the bounce itself only really lasted for 20 days. So, you know, you have some options there, but I would definitely look at a little bit of a scale out moment right here just to protect yourself, unless you're able to break out. So what's the got back above it? It's holding support. Yeah, I'd be happy to like 10%, 15% scale, a very small amount of scaling out here, and just kind of wait to see if on the weekly chart you can close above these highs. Next week you could have a really nice boom, at least to retest the 9s at least. So, you know, I would scale it a little bit, but I don't think there's a reason at this point in time to really go berserk and sell more than that. But yeah, I think it's a good trade, really good trade actually. Bitcoin on the weekly chart. I just really hope we finish off green here. I really hope we finish off green. And let's go back over here to the D's. Another 4-hour chart. And let's go to the 15-minute chart right here. I mean, we just had such a great play. Rectangled out, had a reversal, and it just was not in our favor. Did we hit any actually Fibonacci extension levels though? That's the... No, we didn't make it up that high. We had a little bit there. Oh, which means I'm probably off by this. Yeah, a little bit more accurate, yeah. Let's see right here. Oh, yeah, that's the one. This is the biggest step. Yeah, it's the biggest step. That's why. Huh. That's interesting though. Hit that one price target. No, that's the one price target. We hit the 1.27. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That would have been a hard one. But Bitcoin itself right now, everybody, is just kind of in a small free fall. Hopefully we can get out of this really fast. I was looking at my watch list, and my watch list usually, you know, it's a bunch of coins that I currently hold that are low market cap coins. The majority of them are very low market cap. So it's not my Bitcoins and stuff like that. But I was looking over the last 7 days. There's one that's doing particularly well. CLO and Poly, they're both doing well. You have some like Reef that's up 11% on the week, or GMT up 7% in the last 7 days. But you can see there's not really many in the green here. If I go down, like, so the worst things pop up first. Litecoin is down 14, Ravencoin is down 11, Doxy is down 11, KLT is down 10, you know, down 10, down 9, down 9. So I'm seeing some losses here in my high market cap portfolio here. Does not look pretty. Although I do have to say, over the last 60 days, there is still a lot of green here. So I've made some profit over the last 30 days, 60 days, but you can see there's also a lot of losses over here too, which is why the low market caps are such a risky game. Thank God I'm holding on to them for for definitely a longer period of time than just a few months. Let's see. See right here, make sure. And a Bay Area drifter. Gas is going up like crazy here in California. It's back up down to 479. Now it's 6 again. Holy moly, that went fast. I filled up my tank again this week, and it was like $70 or so. So it wasn't too bad. But I have a Ford Fusion. It's not like it's the biggest tank in the world. Let's see. And hey, GT, So as far as the carpenter ants are concerned, I scrubbed everything down because like, so what happened was like, there was a bunch of ants that day one, and I'm used to foundation ants every once in a while, but I treat my house like twice a year, mostly in the summertime to make sure ants don't get in here. So there was a bunch of ants coming in and I was like, what the heck is this? So it was like a swarm of like maybe 20 or 30 of them on my wall, kind of like where my feet kind of are, where I play video games, somewhere around me, that corner right there. But basically, the next day, there was a whole bunch of other ants there, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And so I called my friend who deals with this stuff every now and again. He's in Montana, so he obviously can't help me out, but he's like, those look like carpenter ants to me. I would get a specialist out there and then, you know, try your best to get some bug spray to make sure that nothing's gonna come out again. So basically what I did is I cleaned it up all again. You can see the spray on my subwoofer thing, or my floor speaker over there. And I sprayed everything down, and there's no more ants right now, but I'm still having a professional come out, probably chop the freaking wall in two and see if there's more ants in there, because I want to kill them all so before they kind of spread and do some worse damage here. So it's annoying, but I'm really happy to say I haven't seen the ants in like the past 10 hours or something like that. And hey, damn crypto, happy to see you back, man. And hey, Kryptonite, is XRP holding strong support or going to drop? I mean, Bitcoin's dropping right now, so I'd be careful. That's why my stop loss got moved up to $19,000 earlier today. I don't want to deal with it if we actually came back down. There we go. I mean, XRP is down 6% right now. It's down pretty heavy compared to a lot of other stuff, and that's mostly because if you look at look at the weekly chart, we had a pretty sizable pump here, so it definitely has to come down a little bit more. As far as the daily chart's concerned, it doesn't look that great because let's see, let's go to the 4 very fast. Yeah, we still have a little bit of time before we hit the support level. That support level is close to 40.5 cents or so, which is, I mean, if we're looking at it from now, like another 4% or so, 4% can come down. Maybe if it comes down back to 41 cents or 40 cents, yeah, that's why I'd be more inclined to buy this up. But it definitely has more room to come down because it just completely broke down over the last few days. I guess there's two breakdowns you'd probably look for. 4-hour chart's probably going to help you there. You have this one broke down, it went sideways a little bit before ultimately coming back down, and then you also had this one from a few days ago, which we just, you know, flat out broke down. Could have bought right there. On the 4-hour chart, you're also about to have a death cross here. That's not a good sign. On the daily chart, though, I mean, you're probably looking okay. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. And you've already broken back down below the 200. So it doesn't look that good. It probably has to come down just a couple more cents, but it might have a bounce here pretty soon if you're lucky. Why am I getting all these messages on my phone? Oh, okay, there we go. But yeah, it looks like it probably has some more room to come down, honestly. It does not look that great at this point in time. There we go. Let's go over to the 5-minute chart here. We're gonna watch Bitcoin crash in real time. But guys, remember, our big support level isn't until 17,585, and that's currently, you know, $955 below where we are. Doesn't seem like a lot. It isn't really a lot, but you know, we're holding at this point in time. We haven't gone down there yet. 2022 lows. Yeah, 2022 lows. That's fine. There you go. Yeah, we really don't want to drop down below that, guys. We just don't. That could lead to a little bit more of a panic over the next few weeks. But again, it's kind of interesting to see Bitcoin drop right now, even though the NASDAQ has kind of been steady Eddie. I know we've been looking at the NASDAQ a lot in terms of you know, the weekly charts as far as bouncing off, but you know, the NASDAQ didn't have such a terrible day. It actually opened up, you know, green, and then it fell down throughout the day. So I could probably actually show it to you guys if I go over here to Finviz. Yeah, see, it opened up high like a gap up, and then it just closed down from where it opened up. So it looks like a red candle, but you saw some green here. Like the NASDAQ was actually green for the day. It opened up, high, and it closed higher today than it opened up, than it closed yesterday, excuse me. But yeah, although, I mean, you look at the maps here, guys. Tesla was up 2.5%, Nvidia was up a little bit, MU was up a little bit. This is choppy weather, which I normally don't like to trade. I was going to be buying some Apple calls this week, and I was going to put it on alert for all the members out there, but I'm kind of like just patiently waiting because I don't want to get stuck if the markets really do tank here. It's almost like you want to do a hedge, and the hedge is going to be, for a lot of you guys out there, it's just going to be not even, it's like a hedge YOLO at this point. You guys are going to buy some really out of the money calls and puts and just take your bets for next Friday. You're going to be buying calls that probably cost anywhere from like 10 to 20 cents, like 10 to 20 bucks for one. You're probably going to buy 2 or 3 just for the fun of it. And you're just going to wait to see what big dump happens or big spike happens. And then you'll be able to walk away with a good profit no matter which way it happens, just because there's going to be so much volatility as we either break down below this or bounce. But your best bet would probably be to like buy one today, buy one tomorrow, buy one Friday, and like slowly creep into these options if you want to get into them. But I'll make a video on it for the members out there pretty soon. And this Saturday, we're going to have another members video, members stream for you guys as well. The last one worked out pretty well. Wasn't as many people because there's not a lot of members. I mean, I have like a couple hundred members, I guess. But you know, for those of the people that wanted to learn and have some potential plays, we talked about a bunch of stuff out there, which was nice. So we did some deep dives into a couple different stocks out there. All right, let me go back over here. Oh, actually, I'll probably just go over to this one. Yeah, but Bitcoin's still breaking down, guys. Unfortunately, we'll see how much further this bad boy wants to go, though. Let's see. And thank you for still getting Star Stream. Love you too. Thank you very, very much, my man. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. And hey, Rohit, what is Ethereum W? Is that the wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped Ethereum? ETHW. What? I don't know what it is. It's on Huobi. Terra USD, Tether USD. I can try that one. Looks pretty much like Bitcoin here, but let's go to the daily chart here. There's not really much I can do at this point, just because there's not much data on it, at least from this one. Gate.io. Okay, this one looks a little bit better here. So it looks like it came out pretty recently. Maybe I don't know if it just when it came on the exchange. At this point in time, it looks a little bit more bearish than bullish. The big thing here is, let me see if I can zoom in here. This is a daily chart. Let me get rid of this little pointer thing. Yeah, mouse is better. It looks like there's a strong chance we're going to break down below yesterday's low. If that does happen over the next few days, we're probably going to be going into the $8 range. So maybe $8.50, $8.75 or so. If it really wants to, you could flat out just tank back down to $7. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'd be very careful. This is standing on the edge of a cliff here. You really don't have much information here, so I don't really have many moving averages to show you. Even on the 4-hour one, let's see, you're creeping back down a little bit. I mean, it even had a false breakout here, which is kind of nasty itself. So yeah, this one's a little bit risky. I'd be very, very careful if you get into this one right now. Otherwise, I'd be looking to buy it if it hopped down below in the $7 range. I'd be happy to buy some of this up and see where it goes from there. Oh, let me make this move right back over there. There you go. Yeah, but that one, look, it's kind of weird. It doesn't have enough data out there. It's a very high risk play if you're trading with that right now. Very, very high risk play. Most likely going to be following Bitcoin, and as you guys can see, Bitcoin itself continues to fall here. I mean, just look on the 5-minute chart, we're still falling down here, guys. We are still falling down. Yeah, still falling down quite a bit. And hey, little Cola, it's really windy here. I'm on the East Coast, thankfully. Dude, be safe out there, and I hope you can keep the power. Everybody that I talked to today in Florida, I was like, hey, guys, be careful. I rarely talk to a lot of people I know in Florida, but you always give them a little heads up, man. Hey, be safe. They all said they didn't really care about the wind and the storm surge. They were all terrified of just not having air conditioning with how hot it is down there. And I guess it's really hot right now. I watched the Bills Dolphins game, and I saw all the Bills players like having heat stroke on the sidelines. It was like really scary. I was like, geez, these people need to like have some like air cool zones like they have at the amusement parks and stuff. But yeah, it seems like it's really hot down there too. See, and hey, Monica, I might consider longing Bitcoin at the bottom of the trend line, like the 18,100 to 18. Oh, I see 200. Same play as you just did, or looking for a drop below. Probably looking to do something around the $18,000 range again if I am going to be going long. I'm patiently just waiting this out, but yeah, I'd probably open up one somewhere below 18,500, which we're kind of sitting to right now, and then from there I'd probably have my stop loss again, probably around 18,000. Hopefully, actually, no, I'd move that stop loss down because this would be the last time I do it. Last time I try to make this trade along. I'd move my stop loss all the way down to the 2022 lows. At that point, if you're buying around this price, and I'm hopefully it'll come back down a little bit lower. Again, you know, I'm risking 5%. 5% on a 10x leverage position, that'll cost me about 50%. I'd probably be tossing in about $2,000, so I'm kind of risking $1,000 by making that trade. But you know, I just did the trade yesterday, but frankly a couple days ago, where I was able to buy this low, right? 18,500, sold at 19,000 because that's where my stop loss hit. I walked away with like 30% profit on this one, so like 3% profit. So 30% profit, you know, I'm only really risking 20% profit at this point, which is one of the reasons I was kind of happy enough to just take the small gain here from 18,500 to 19,000, right? If I didn't move up that stop loss after it kind of came all the way up here to 20,000, I would have been you know, I would have been kind of like back to where I bought, you know, a 40 bucks profit, not really a lot there. However, if I was smart, you know, and I bought at 18,500 and I sold up here at 20,000, just right there, I could have walked away with 80% profit. But you know me, I was just like, I was hoping for 23,000, 22,000. But nope, we got knocked down hard today. And part of that was the dollar index and some of the stuff going on about the economy. But man, I was hopeful that we could have another big boom. But yeah, I'm going to try again. And one thing for you as well, Monica, here, something that I did, we talked about this a while ago, but it took a while for it to happen. But you know, over the past couple days, we had talked about 19 cents being a selling point for BGB. I did scale out of some of my BGB around 19 cents. It's back down to 18, a little under 19 cents. So I'm waiting to see what happens next. But you know, I know we kind of bought it way back over here at 6 cents before it was even on Tradingview. You know, I've decided to scale some out at this point. I'm waiting to see if I can buy it back for cheaper, especially if Bitcoin does take a dip. But I scaled it like 2,000 bucks worth, so it's not too much here. But I'm really hoping that it comes back down to at least 17, 16 over the next few weeks, and I can really, like, you know, strike while the iron's hot. But this thing is doing fairly well compared to a lot of other stuff. We had those lows in June, but since those June lows, I mean, it's up currently 83%. Pretty solid, pretty darn solid. It's given me confidence that even if it does drop again over the next few months, as we have a recession and everything, this one's going to keep on growing. So still in this one long-term hold. This is still one of my best performers of the year, just because it hasn't fallen down as much as everything else here. So BGB is still looking out good, but I did shave some off at 19 cents. I don't think we've talked about it for such a long time, though. Last time we talked about it was probably over here, September something, when like you were asking me about 19 cents being the high, and I was like, that seems like a reasonable high level here, although it went up to 21 cents. So I was actually wrong there. It went up to 21 cents. That impressed me quite a bit. Okay, let's go back over to Bitcoin here. The wrong Bitcoin. There we go. That's the Bitcoin we want to see. There you go. We see Bitcoin bottoming out a little bit. But we did break down below 18,500 though. Okay. Let's see. And hey, Brandon, at least some hope for Voyager. Yeah, I mean, FTX won the bidding war. That's some really good news out for everybody. I was, you know, I really don't know how this is going to pan out, because a lot of the bidding war, a lot of that money doesn't go directly to the people that have money, that have crypto in those wallets. A lot of that money goes to fill the $600 million gap, or the hole that's been left over from that Three Arrows Capital disaster. So I'm hoping that FTX can really get this thing chugging, and I think they can with Sam at the helm. I'm really excited to see what they do, but I'm hoping what they're going to let everybody do is just say, hey, we're going to shut down the Voyager app, and we're going to transfer all of your accounts over to FTX. I wonder if that's what they're going to try to do. I don't know if they'll do it, but basically they'll be like, hey, we'll refund 25% of your money if you stay in the Voyager account, but if you transfer over to us at FTX, we'll give you 50% of your money back, right? They may try to pull something like that, but you know, obviously I'd move my account over there to recoup 50% of my lost assets. You know, I only have 500 bucks in Voyager because I took the majority of it out. All that's left in there is my STMX, which I kind of do want. But you know, I have friends that have like $5,000-$10,000 in Celsius. I was just talking to a couple other crypto YouTubers today. Some of us are we're grouping up to have our own little crypto league here basically pretty soon. Anyway, you'll hear more news about that later on over the next few months. But you know, it's just, yeah, you know, we're going to get some money back, but not all of it. I'm just happy I didn't lose too much money, like in the tens of thousands, like some people I know. And hey, Alex, thanks, my man. I appreciate it. I'm always going to be on when I can. And today I definitely have time. I need to get some dinner in me pretty soon, but that's not for a while. I think I'm probably just going to eat some pizza, maybe? One dog? Something that's not healthy because it's my birthday week and I'm just being fat. What do you call it? I ate like so much salad and berries last week. My berries cost me $9 a day. I've been eating berries every day. It's $9 a day. It's absolutely insane. But they're really good raspberries. Really good raspberries. Let's see. And hey, Rounded, what the F is going on? Isn't Bitcoin supposed to pump after the double bottom? Well, this is still the week of the double bottom. So if you want to look at Bitcoin like this, let me go over here. Let's drop all the moving averages here. We don't need to see the TMAs. All right, so this is still the week of the bottom here. We technically haven't even had a bottom. So if you look at it like this, there we go. Ah, what the heck? There we go. All right. So we have this low right now. This is Bitcoin against the US dollar, not Bitcoin versus Tether. Bitcoin should be Bitcoin versus the dollar. If you go to Bitcoin versus Tether, the support's going to be a little bit different here. So Bitcoin versus Tether, it's 17,622. Bitcoin against the dollar, which most of you guys aren't going to be using this, but there's just more data on it, is going to be 17,585. So understand those two numbers. Use the one that's most likely going to be the Tether. This one's going to be just what we're using for now, just because it's nicer and there's more data historically about, you know, from what's been going on. Okay. So we still have this week and maybe even next week to find a bottom here. We haven't had the double bottom yet for Bitcoin. That until we have a reversal or we break down, we're not going to really know how bad this is. We just don't want to be down here like sometime by the end of October. That's most likely going to mean we're going to be breaking down. We want to have a pretty strong reversal sometime over the next few weeks. So, you know, it could be this week, could be next week, and then we start bouncing off. We haven't hit the bottom yet of the double bottom. What we're hoping for, though, to kind of help us out with this Bitcoin trade is going back over to the NASDAQ here. We see the NASDAQ with its 200 weekly moving average. You guys all know by now. Let me go to the monthly chart. So this is a monthly chart with the 200 weekly moving average. We don't want to go down below this line. However, we usually bounce off of it pretty nicely. So a nice bounce there before the crash of 2008. Nice bounce here before the dot-com bubble crash of 2000, 2001. You know, we should have a nice bounce here. But, you know, that's a month chart. For this month, we only bounced off maybe 1-2 months tops, maybe like 5-6 weeks. This one we bounced up for maybe 6 months or so. That was kind of nice to see. This was a financial crisis that really got worse. This is more of a bubble bursting. I think we're more of the bubble bursting method right here. Bubble bursting, you know, then we add inflation. I think this is a little bit more relevant. But unless the financial sector really goes berserk again, who knows? But normally bounce off of this. But if you kind of zoom into this even more, and go to the auto charts, you'll see that during the 2008 financial crisis, we were choppy around this level. I mean, for a good 6-10 days, I mean like 13 days, 2 weeks of being choppy right around this level before ultimately making that massive move upwards. And if you bought when we were actually at that spot, you know, that was a bounce of around 22%. If we go back a little bit further here, This bounce again, not nearly as much time down here, only 2 days, maybe 3, 4, 5 if you want to count those ones. But that bounce ended up being about 31%. So it was a pretty sizable bounce. But then, of course, you know, after a couple weeks, it just kind of came back down and then we really started crashing. So, you know, if we're going off for some historical context here, we should bounce, but we're still in that week. That's what makes this week so important. We need to be able to hold here. Maybe we can go down a little bit more. We can even close down below this level, but we don't want to enter the free fall territory where the NASDAQ is going to be like, we don't really want to see NASDAQ drop down below $11,000, or we don't want to see it drop down below $10,000, $10,500. If we start going into that territory, that's a really, like, the floor could fall out from beneath all assets right now, which could lead to just a little bit of a mini disaster. I don't think it's going to happen. It could happen, but I'm really hoping that history can kind of repeat itself here, and we can have such a bounce that would give us maybe a 1 to 3 week opportunity to make a bunch of money here. But we're most likely eventually going to break down below this and have a crash going. Maybe it's sometime at the end of this year. Maybe it's sometime in spring next year. We're going to find a bottom over the next 6 months. But man, it's just, you know, we haven't, to answer your question, we haven't hit that bottom just yet. Even here on the NASDAQ chart, we're close. You can even call this, we're close to that bottom zone, but we're still hovering there, waiting to make a larger move up. Same thing with Bitcoin here. We still have that, we still have a couple weeks or a week of bottoming out here to see if we can have the reversal off of it. I'm hoping we can bottom this week and then bounce up a little bit more. The reason I bought over here at 18,500 before I eventually sold at 19,000 was because I was like, okay, this is a pretty decent bottom. Let me look at this bottom, you know, I want to buy down low here and then I want to ride a nice wave. And at the time I was banking on us breaking above the 50 moving average here. Is that it? No, right here. Yeah. The 50. And so when we finally broke above the 50, I was like, okay, awesome. We're ready for a move here. But what happened? We popped. It was a really nice move, but then we just crashed right afterwards, and then the crash hit my my newly moved up stop loss there for like 3% gains with 10x leverage is 30% gains. So it wasn't really that much profit. I was expecting much more, although I didn't sell up here, even though I probably should have. But yeah, so you know, if we come back down here again, I'm buying again, but the stop loss being the lows over here of 17,585. In a more practical sense, though, those lows are going to be realistically the lows we experienced in June, which is going to be because most of you guys that trade for not Forex, what do you call it, leverage trading or trade on exchange, you're usually trading Tether versus the Bitcoin. So that's level of support is going to be around 17,622. Okay, so just that's going to be that support level you don't want to mess around with here. But since I've been talking, Bitcoin found a little bit of a bounce. Hopefully I can try to find that support around 18,469 and not fall down below that. Let's see how that works out. And hey, Starscream, thanks again. What do I think about the stock UPST? Why have I heard that before? I feel like I own this actually. Upstart. UPST. Do I own this one? Maybe I've just helped somebody out help somebody out with it before. Wow, so this one's definitely hitting new all-time lows here, 52-week lows. It's hitting some really bad times here. So what I would look at here, since the technicals aren't really going to help you when it comes to all-time lows, I mean, I guess you could, hold on. Let's go to the monthly chart. Every now and then I like to do the reverse Fibonacci extension level here. Now let's go to the daily chart. Does it work at all? Little bit. But when I started gapping down, not as accurate. So you might find a little bit of support here around 19 bucks or so. When I look at this though, and I see the economy getting worse and I see the stock getting worse at the same time, I would imagine this is going to come down over the next few months pretty bad. But let me go over here to UPST. I want to actually look at the data behind it. Might be able to give you more information, especially if it has dividends in it. No dividends, unfortunately. Income is 90 million. Not really a lot of money coming in there. Are they profitable? Not really. A little bit, but target price 26. Good margins. No earnings coming up for a while. quarterly earnings growth is not good, down 190%. So there's some fundamental reasons of why this is coming down. It's not just the market here. Okay, hold on one second here. It's more expensive to take out a loan now, so less loans are being taken out. Right, that's what interest rates do. This is going to get worse for them as rate hikes continue. So a lot of the companies out there that you buy now, pay later, like you put yourself on a payment plan like a firm and stuff like that, they're going to have some other problems here because it's more expensive to borrow money from lenders, from banks and things of that nature. Now, banks are going to make more money, which is why it's a good play to buy a bank for a dividend play. But this is something I would say, if you want to buy this, you want to try to buy this and dollar cost average into it as the market gets much worse over the next few months. This is something I would definitely have on my watch list. I've talked about this, I think, a couple times with you guys before. This is something I have on my watch list. I'm pretty sure I actually even own some of this in my long-term accounts, but long-term is the key word here, long-term. This is not something I'd want to hold unless I'm buying it and holding it for like 2 years minimum. And that's the way I'm looking at it right now. And I'll probably add to this position, but it's gonna be, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be later on, not anytime soon. Now, I mean, they have a lot of cool stuff. The main reason I got into this, I mean, they have moving loans, home improvement loans, wedding loans, explore personal loans. The only one I really cared about and I was actually interested in was medical loans. I don't see the medical system in America getting really good anytime soon. We're going to pay a lot of money for a lot of basic stuff. I would assume that this is going to help out a lot of people who, I noticed this when I actually quit my job and I was making a good amount of money, but I was like still kind of like on the edge, right? With paying with my mom's bills and stuff like that. What I noticed is at one point I was making like $50,000 in just trading. And what ended up happening was I made too much money to actually afford good health care, but I wasn't poor enough to get help from the government. And so because I like to have the best healthcare, I just was like, I can't afford that. The basic healthcare, the premiums were too high. So if I ever went to go get anything, I'd just be paying a lot of money for it. Basically, it was kind of stupid. But I think as more and more people kind of get stuck in that situation, I do see medical loans being a big thing in the future, unless they just want to go into default. I think that's what their loan is called, default, which I don't think people want their loans to do. But yeah, this is something good for the long term. I'm not going to be buying anytime soon though. I'm going to be buying it over the next like 6 months. So that's kind of soon, 6 months in the grand scheme of things. But I wish I had a dividend here. One of the dividend plays that I'm going to be giving you guys later on this week is going to be, well, actually, let me not even give you what I'm going to do later on today, later on this week. But if I go over here to screener, I just want to go to sector, which is going to be financial. And I just want to go over here to do dividend yield. I want it to be high, above 5%. Let me just go to market cap. It'll make everything faster. No, not that market cap. Let's see. Blackstone is one you guys should be into right now for long-term holds, 7% yield. And another one here is, where's that? Oh, okay, hold on. Country, United States. That's what's driving me nuts here. No. What's that? Oh, there it is. F. I just saw it. There you go. Fidelity. So these are ones like, 5% yield. These are ones that are like cheap plays that you guys can get into. But there's a few other ones I like a lot better than those ones. But you want to start getting into some of those banking sectors because those dividend yields, as well with the banks making more money off of loans, even though there will be less loans given out because nobody can afford to have a loan taken out. It'll be good for a long-term hold if you guys get into banks. Let's see. And hey, Kenny G, nice nibbling away, my man. And it cost us what double bottom, guys? We went from 3.5k to 70k. Come on, it's normal to go up 6k. We'll have a next bull run 3 to 4 years and go to 80k. Don't long or buy Bitcoin now, in my opinion. Oh, we're talking about trades. Sometimes we talk about long-term holds a lot, but the long-term thesis right now for a lot of these assets is just to nibble every now and again, and then just when you feel like we hit that really big bottom, you want to start loading up there and wait for some of those golden crosses to occur on the longer term charts. That's kind of our long-term thesis. But as far as the short term, there are plenty of ways to make money while day trading and swing trading the markets. And right now we're mostly talking about swing trading. If you guys want to talk about long-term trading, let me know though, because we can talk about that too. See, NA Pepper, I'll try to find it. I looked outside today and I couldn't find any cracks or anything. But you never know where these things could be coming from. So maybe I'm looking at the whole wrong side of my house. Maybe they're like somewhere random. I don't know. But I'll look at it tomorrow just to double check. But I have a guy coming in, like the thing is like coming Monday or something like that. I couldn't find one that would come really fast. But yeah, hopefully they're here in a fast amount of time. Let's see. And hey, Skull Guy, happy to see you back. And hey, Kawhi Highlights, I think that's it is. Kawhi Lights. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Do I do day trading for a living? Not necessarily day trading, but I do day trade every now and again. Most of my money is made from swing trading, so like buying one day, holding for up to 2 weeks usually, and I usually sell for a good amount of profits. I've gotten to the point where I don't have to invest. I don't have to hold as long as most of you guys because the money I'm making from holding is usually pretty good. But I'm usually just going off the technicals like you guys. But yeah, I mean, like here, I share with you guys, the members, my trades here, and I usually just post them all in the community whenever we're looking at profits and updates. There's that little ant thing. Like here's the last one I gave you guys. This was last month, 3 weeks ago, not even a month ago. The members got this play. They got Netflix, Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. Tesla messed up because it was it made money, but it still messed up from a point of view that there was a split, so it kind of messed up the way the data looked. But Nvidia ended up going up 1,000%. Apple ended up going up 205%. Netflix only went up 44%. I wish it went up more, but it didn't. So you know, I usually just trade a couple times, and the money is usually more than enough to kind of keep me going. This is more of a slower time for me in the market. I'm actually like, I'm not living off of last year's money, but I just have a money I could spend if I wanted to, I guess. But I'm being patient because of all this crazy stuff happening with the market. If I don't want to have to deal with inflation for much longer. But yeah, I trade for a living. And then Monica, Apple. Yeah, and then I'll get to your question very fast. Blockchain revolutions. All right, so right now Apple has actually managed to stabilize. We talked about this, I think, on Saturday during the members only stream. So right now, if you're looking at Apple, you know, from an options perspective, it's kind of risky because you're waiting for a big move to kind of get started. Each day, like if you bought here and you're still holding the options, which I don't think any of you guys did, this is a while ago, but you know, your options would be losing money according to the theta here as time decay takes hold of it. At this point in time, the YOLO play that we were talking about earlier is most likely going to be like a 160 call for next Friday, or a 140 call, yeah, for next Friday, or 140 put, excuse me, for next Friday. And you're going to hold on for dear life and see which way it breaks off. I would still say based off of the NASDAQ, which I really trust, guys. I really do want to see a bounce here off of the NASDAQ and this 200 weekly moving average here. But at this point, it's going to be very, very risky to have a good play off of the options market here. I'm hoping that if you can look at this right here, tomorrow will be the day that we really break out, maybe, for Apple in particular. You know, we found a level of support. This is a 4-hour chart, so we can go back a little bit more over the last few days, but you know, bottom of bottom, maybe we can have a reversal here. I'd like to open up a call tomorrow if possible, but because of how choppy everything's being and how the NASDAQ is looking, you know, kind of testing out these 200 daily or weekly moving averages, I would go a smaller position, probably around 5 to 10 contracts, buying around the 160 strike price. If you're lucky, if you can kind of afford it, the 155 strike price, which I don't think they're actually too expensive right now. 155 strike price for next Friday, hold, and I'd probably would sell as soon as it hit 158 if it manages to make that reversal, which I think it can over like a 1 to 2 day period of time. You're probably going to be holding these until Monday or Tuesday of next week. But that's how I would trade Apple right now, but it still looks very, very risky. So smaller positions, not larger ones, but this could definitely net you a quick 30 to 50% if you're if it works out Monday or Tuesday. But you have to bank on us like not breaking down here. But by Friday. You really want to see us hold, and then Monday have the opportunity to pop. And of course, no bad news. It seems like the news is just getting worse and worse over the next few days. Good news about the railroad strike. The way they've kind of they've kind of twisted some stuff up, which is kind of messed up for the railroad workers, but good for the economy. Basically, they've made the vote for the railroad strike. You vote, but it's going to take them like 2 months to count the vote. It's absolutely insane, which means that the next vote won't happen. No, it's like a month to do the vote, but the next vote won't happen until after the election. So they've made it impossible for workers to strike before the election. Now, is that wrong? Yeah, it's wrong, but it'll help out the economy and it'll help out the stock market a little bit. I like this. The administration is like giving the biggest FU to railroad workers. It's kind of sad, but a lot of them basically said they're going to take their back pay and just quit and go find other work. And there's like already tons of jobs over there saying, hey, come work for us. Come work for us. We pay better, you know, yada, yada, yada. Apparently the welders are just like trying to get all the people over there as fast as possible. There's tons of demand in the welding industry, as you guys know. But yeah, Apple should be fine, but it's a risky play at this point in time. NA Blockchain Revolutions, thank you for the super chat, my man. Hope all is well. So far, so good, my man. Where do you purchase XRP these days? It varies. It varies a lot by your country, honestly, just because of what the SEC has been doing here in the United States. What you would want to do here for your individual country, or just find out where you want to buy it, is go over here to coinmarketcap.com. It works on CoinGecko as well, but I think it better just do it on CoinMarketCap. Scroll down here, and you can find out where you can buy it. So there's Binance, FTX, BitThumb, Bitstamp, a lot of Binances here. That's different pairs of currency here. But Gate.io, Huobi, Coin1, Bitfinex, Kraken, Bitfire, Huobi Global, Polynex, so a whole bunch of the same thing over and over again, actually just different pairs of stable coins versus the coin here. But yeah, there's a few places you can buy them still. Most of it seems like just a few. Binance, FTX, Bitstamp, Gate.io, Huobi Global, Kraken, some other ones out there, but it doesn't look like there's many opportunities to buy it as you know, as much as back in the day. Excuse me. Oosh. But that's a pretty good idea if we can find them. You can look at it in more depth there, but all you got to do honestly is just go there, and if you click on any of these sources, it just pops it up right here. See Binance, what it is. If you don't know what the exchange is, then you can just go to the website right here. So it's pretty simple, and then it'll show you all the coins that you could buy on that specific exchange in case you want to look for more coins there. But most of the time, you're just going to go to the website, see if the account says, hey, you're not allowed to trade in this country. Then you got to move it to the next one. Like, oh, you're allowed to trade in this country, because no pop-up will happen. It works out pretty well. And hey, Starscream, the member stream was great. Look forward to the next. Yeah, I'm really excited for the member stream, guys. It wasn't too crowded. It wasn't too like hurrah rah. We basically just dove into some deep data there, did some GAN fans on everything, looking at some ultimate support levels and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. See, and hey, Salty Poet, I appreciate it a lot, and I'll have the name. So here. Oh, thanks, Six. I appreciate that. I never trade staked Ethereum, never have, I guess. And hey, Fat Buddha, just saw I was gifted a membership. Thanks, whoever it was in it. See, that was Starscream, to say thank you to Starscream. That was him. Oh, he probably said something before. Let's see. And hey, Round Earth, thanks for buying some Bitcoin Ethereum. Hope we do well with it. And hey, Maris, long, short, long, short, long, short. Good times and the bad. I mean, that's pretty much it. Remember, guys, I'm not even trading that heavily right now. This is kind of one of those weeks where I'm just like, hey, I'm making some small trades. What did I tell you guys before? I told you guys I'm making a very tiny position here. I don't want to risk much at this point, guys. I mean, I still have my longer term trades. Don't get me wrong. Those are all doing fine. They're there. But as far as trading, I mean, is there a breakout? Is there a breakdown? No, there's not really anything happening right now. We're just kind of staying steady. I want to buy a breakout. I want to buy or open a position for a breakdown. We're not really seeing that right now. We're at support. So that's why I'm probably going to buy if Bitcoin goes back down a little bit more, back down below 18,500. Maybe I missed it while I was streaming. Who knows? But, I'll have an opportunity over the next few days, even if I miss this low, even if this is the low, right? See, And hey, Kevin, what do I think Litecoin will do for the next couple hours? Rarely does anybody ever ask me about Litecoin. Let's take a look at it. Litecoin is always boring until it's not, right? So let me go to the hour chart right here. Litecoin really has just been the weirdest thing. Look at this. This is an hour chart. It just did a whole bunch of nothing, but I guess everything did a whole bunch of nothing here. I mean, let me see. Death crosses, but Bitcoin looks okay. $15. If it can manage to break back above the 52.14 range, which is what is that from now, like 34 cents above where it is now, not really hard. I think it's possible over the next couple hours it makes its way back up here towards $52, $53. Like it might go $1 more than where it is now, I guess you would say. Anything above that would really need Bitcoin to have a pretty sizable boost, but I would say it can move up about $1. On the other hand, if it's unable to really break above even this level right here, about $52, you're most likely going to see it continue this small, very undramatic downward trend here. So it looks something like that. If I was to bet on anything, I think Bitcoin's low enough where we could see it get back up to $53 or so. That's what I'd be trading it right now, but I wouldn't even be making the trade because I'm too afraid of it. It hasn't broken out above that level for me to really want to take that trade, and it would be a scalp at that point, not even a trade, because of how much energy it's going to really need to break out above that without Bitcoin really doing anything special right now. Because this is only down 1.69%, but Bitcoin's down about 2%. You have ADA's down 2.5%. Ethereum Classic is down 3.5%. XRP's down almost 5%. Luna's down 3%, not too bad if you consider how much it's popped up. Sanda's down 3%, AEOS down 3%, Crow down 2%, Chiliz down 5%, Spell down 3%, Filecoin down 1.5%. So I'd probably say, I like the opportunity. If it manages to break out above this level, I would like it to see it get back up to $53. If we're really lucky, maybe it can get back up here to these 54 range. But again, this rally that it saw over the past few days, it was like a 6% rally. It wasn't crazy. But I do like how it looked on the 15-minute chart with the golden crosses, though. There we go. Okay. Yeah, until Bitcoin finds stabilization, expect that downward trend. Let's see. And hey, Ove, happy to see you back, man. Hope you're doing well. And the good old Bart Simpson. I know I call it a rectangle, but I guess Bart Simpson is just much better. And hey, Chef, can I check a Sofi? Yeah, let's check Sofi very fast. Sofi is one of those things that's going to get hit hard during this recession, because they do so much debt and stuff like that. However, let me see. Let's check out the weekly chart first. I mean, you're close to lows here, so kind of like draw that out right now. Let me thaw that out, I guess you would say, right? Let's make that red. There you go. So you're actually kind of in a buying zone right now as far as SoFi's Technologies is concerned. Now, if we start breaking down before the lows, which is $4.82, probably not the best sign here, but from a technical standpoint, it looks like it's an okay buy. You're going to have that stop loss around $4.82, which if you bought right now would be a loss of about 4 or 5%, 5% probably being more likely there. And so you're risking 5% for the hope that over the next few weeks we have a rebound, and then we manage to just get back up here to these levels around $6. So you're risking about 5% for 20%. From a risk standpoint, this is a pretty good trade. On the daily chart here, you can see we've slowed down following just a little bit, not too much, but we've slowed down. And you can see usually once we find a bottom, we really do have a nice quick reversal coming for SoFi. That's something you'd want to see really quickly, and something that would suggest that you probably want to be holding this or scaling out sooner rather than later. So it might be something more like this or more like this. After that first big bounce, scale out 10%, then you can scale out more as it goes up, but you want to start locking in profits fast And as soon as that big move does come up, if the trade works out in your favor, you're going to move that stop loss up from like the 42 level, which is the lows, probably close to $5 here. If you're buying at 508, probably up to like 525. So no matter what happens, if you buy now, it won't be a huge profit. You'll walk away with like 3% profit no matter what happens. If you at least survive that first big boom, and then by, you know, locking in profits and scaling out as we move up, that profit will grow, of course. So, but you know the minimum profit you're going to be able to make and the maximum you're going to be willing to lose here, which is not much. It's like 5%, not too bad here. Let me go over here to Sofi very fast though. Their profit's gone down like 85%. It looks like their margin has. They're off 79, 89% to the 50-week high. I mean, this is a buying range for it. Over the next few months, it's probably going to go down a lot more, but this looks like there's an opportunity for it to have a bounce here. SoftBank Group has been selling some off. They sold some off in August here. $54 million worth, $43 million worth. They bet it's going to go down more over the next few months. So just careful how long you want to hold this sucker. My gosh, they really did sell off about $100 million worth of this asset here. Just in time. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. SoftBank Group. Oh, geez, they sold off $486 million worth here. Director options exercised $2.4 billion. My gosh. What was that price though? 6,971. Something glitched out there. Don't sure what the heck was going on there. Okay, but yeah, it's in a nice buying zone. Careful of it, but I mean, risking like 3-5% for 20%, it seems pretty like a good plan to me. Try to 10 with the NASDAQ if you can. I can just zoom in right here. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. And hey, Kevin. Oh wait, did I make something else right here? Oh, sorry. Hey, Rico. Jag. Yeah, I know I was missing something here. You said Jag X. Jag X. Jaguar Health. So this is a penny stock, incredibly risky. Be very, very careful if you're getting into this. I'm looking at a whole bunch of S's on the screen towards the bottom. If you guys can see this, maybe you guys can't see this. Yeah, you guys can see them. These S's down here. That means it's been a split, which means it got so close to zero, it wasn't able to stay above $1 that they had to condense all the shares down to, you know, so they turned 4 shares into 1 to multiply the value by, you know, multiply the value. So it's been happening for a long time. This is not a good company. Be very, very careful. This is something you're just going to be playing with the bounce. The last big bounce that occurred happened back over here in March of 2022. That bounce ended up being 136%. This last little mini bounces that we've been having have been somewhere around 32% or 26%. New lows again, I'm assuming. Yeah, so you're not going to really get the best technical analysis out of me for this one, specifically because we're at all-time lows. You don't really know how far this bad boy is going to want to keep on dropping, and it looks like it does want to keep on dropping. If you're going to buy into this, the best thing you could do is dollar cost average over a period of weeks and hope for a rebound that could really bring it up quickly. I don't know, what's that, 16 and a half cents JAGX. I mean, that's a pretty good example of the chart right there. They're losing money. Their market cap of 20 million. They have a short float of 6%. Not crazy, but not too bad. It's enough to make it pop here. Shortable, optionable, yeah, but who's going to be buying? So don't trade options on it. There's not going to be enough liquidity in the market. Average volume 4.6 million. Volume today is 2.5 million. So volume is actually a lot lower today than the average. So be careful with that as well. The only way you could trade this is a dollar cost average and hope for a pop. You got to hope for a pop here. That's the only way you could be looking at this. And that pop is going to only be around 20 to 30%. So it's going to be it's going to be a lot of risk for a small amount of profit. So just be very careful. Treat this as a YOLO play. Use your casino money, use your fund money, use your entertainment money. Don't use your portfolio income. It'll mess up your strategies going forward. But yeah, it seems like it could be a fun play. Be very, very careful though. That 5% short flow is a nice help there. I wish it was more. And hey, Ghost Rider, I hope you're doing well. Call me Sniper. Limit risk, long-term commitment. And yes, you're definitely correct there, Justin. I see me, Eric. And hey, Justin, what's going on? Michael Ball's good. Everything's doing pretty well, my man. I mean, Bitcoin's going down here. We're hoping we can find a short-term bottom again, but we're just testing out those lows and hoping we can actually have a nice bounce here. One of the things I was going to tell you guys about here, I don't know if it was Finviz or not. Which one is it? Is it? No. Okay, I forget what it was. It's not too important here. Get out of here. Oh, actually, about this event too. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time talking to the people over at Circle since they're the platinum sponsor. But this is the type of stuff I want to make videos on over the next few months as I kind of get better at it, because I still suck at editing, but I'm getting better at it. You guys watch my videos longer than you guys did a few months ago. But, you know, this is financial transfer. USDC coin and Euro coin, they're moving up pretty fast. I think USDC is going to be the coin of the future. This seems like it's where everybody is getting more standardized. And whenever America makes its own digital currency, this will probably be added to the equation here. We want to have the USD standard coin, whatever it is, you know what I mean? You know, I'm going to be talking to these guys a lot. They also have an event in San Diego or LA, something like that, but I'm not flying down to LA for an event like that. What's right here? And then Matthew, can I take a look at Compound? If not, I understand you got a lot of the questions. Yeah, it's no worries, my man. It's slow right now. Compound. Comp. Where's comp on my list? Comp. What happened to Compound? Comp. It's probably somewhere in there, but I'll just search it up. Yeah, it's not hurt my head to keep on looking for it. What's the next song here? I don't know if you guys can even hear the music as much as I can, but probably not. It'll creep up a little bit. There you go. All right. So this is the weekly chart. So it's in a nice selling zone right now. So this is what you might want to call a scale out zone, right? I can even make this into an elliptical. Right. You would drag that around a little bit. You're in a nice scale out zone. I would still be scaling out here. I don't feel confident enough to buy. What I do like about it though is that on the weekly chart, we're above the 20-week moving average. It's rare that we actually get back above this. So you can see we popped above it once here before the fake out that happened with Bitcoin as well. It's been a hot minute since we've managed to be above the 20. It's been like months here. So if this thing can come back down to maybe the low 50s or so, maybe like less than $55, I think it might be an opportunity to buy it here. One of the reasons I like to trade comp every now and again is just because I don't even actually trade leverage on it. I just trade by buying it. It is because it does have a lot of volatility as being part of the Robinhood crowd, of one of the few coins that's on Robinhood that has a low market cap. So if I go over here to Robinhood, comp, you'll see that comp's market cap doesn't have market caps in there. Oh, doesn't have market cap. Okay, well, let's go over here to the main page then. Oh, my fund went up 8% today. My Nvidia went up 2% today. I'm killing it, guys. What does my portfolio look like in the last 3 months? It's still down 17%, probably because of Nvidia. But I don't really use this account much. Crypto. Market cap. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll zoom in for a second here. It should zoom in all the Robinhood accounts on my screen, so the ticker should go big for a second. So sorry about that. But you see Compound right here above my head. 384 million. Then you got Bitcoin SV, 999 million. And then we go straight into the billions here, billions and billions and billions. Wait, do I own Bitcoin? Oh, I thought I don't. Oh yeah, I own a very, very tiny amount of Bitcoin. But what do you call it? You know, cheap market cap. I wish the price was cheaper, but this is something that should do very well during the next cycle. But it usually has a lot of volatility built into it. So let me back up out of here very fast and make sure everything's good. Nope. I'm gonna go right there. Should be fine. All right. Now go back over here to the charts. You're in this nice selling zone. There really isn't too many big levels of support anytime soon. So if I go over here, draw some trend lines, we got that level of support. That's all the way down here at $51.81. We're currently at like $59. That's quite a drop, you know. Maybe on the 4-hour chart, that might be something different. No, we already broke out of the uptrend here. We're only going sideways, and now we're starting to come back down. So as far as compound's concerned, I probably would try to do a little bit of trading on this. If it drops down below $55 or so, that might be a good opportunity for you to get in there. But it's definitely hitting a selling price right now. And what has it been like over the past few days? Like this past week, we had this little bit of a rally. What was that? What happened here? It popped up like 50% in like 4 days. It's just cooling off a little bit. Might even be some type of ugly double top here. No, it's just more of a rectangle. So yeah, it looks like it's just breaking down out of this pattern. It already broke down below the lows over here. Now you have to worry about some support levels around like $54, 55. So probably going to be coming down over the next few days, even if Bitcoin makes a move up, unless this thing really wants to start tearing again. But I would say definitely on the watch list to see what happens if it breaks down below $55. I'd probably consider buying some for a day trade here. Day trade, maybe a swing trade if I'm lucky, but most likely a day trade there. Let's just go to the 1-hour chart. Now that's looking nice. All right, 15 it is. All right. Oh, thanks, Ghost Rider. I appreciate it. Let's see it here. And hey, Trod, what are your plans in this market? Buying, selling, shorting, longing, or nothing? Long-term trading, I'm dollar cost averaging. Short-term trading, I probably will buy some longs here. Besides that, I'm really just doing a bunch of day trading as the market allows, but I've been having much more success day trading options than I have been day trading crypto. And it's not even like crypto is worse in many ways. It's just, you guys know me, I like to have patterns. I like to have solid evidence that, hey, this breakout's going to go up, we're going to be going down, and I'm able to trade off of those larger moves. There really hasn't been too many big breakouts here as far as Bitcoin's concerned. The last one that happened, I bought at like 18,500. It popped up to 20,000 yesterday or a day before. And then what happened? It ended up crashing back down. I was able to move my stop loss up to 19,000. Should have maybe just made it 20,000. So I've been walking with profit, but the profit I've been making over the past few weeks with options is much better than the profit I've been making with Bitcoin and altcoins, unfortunately. I guess there are also altcoins I'm making money, but I'm usually just adding on to my positions. I'm not really doing as much trading this week as I was over the past couple weeks, so less trading than I normally do, but I'm still doing all my long-term dollar cost averaging moves, which really at this point this month, they're not scheduled to go on until like the end of the month here. So, not really doing much at this point in time. Day trading options, swing trading options if I can, but I'm waiting for a good setup here, especially with Apple. Just please let Apple hold and I can make some good money off it. Apple is my bread and butter play, guys. I love it so much, and it's like the easiest thing for me to trade. See, yeah, no worries, Matthew. Happy to help you out. And hey, JR Samples, SII. JR Samples, let me know if it's SII or SLL. I don't know for sure. If you let me know, I'll and let me know if it's crypto or stock. Let me know and I'll look it up for you. See, NA Bideford, Apple has informed its suppliers about cutting back the assembly of as many as 6 million iPhone 14 variants in the year's second half, cut production. I mean, it's pretty smart. I mean, guys, everybody, I mean, like, okay, let me rephrase this. I've been telling you guys, I think the economy is going to get much, much worse over time. people kind of disagreed with me at the time, not talking about the audience, but just like people in general on YouTube. They've really been saying, no, the economy is going to be fine. You know, we're going to get out of this. We're just going to have a little bump in the road. The market will start going back up. I think now you're even starting to see companies start to realize how bad things are getting, and they're rightfully cutting some of those productions back. Remember, my strategy for figuring out how the economy is going to be worse, not better than like a lot of people expected, was using my street smarts from being like really poor as a kid, like dirt poor. I understand what gas going up a couple bucks, you know, the people on Wall Street, people on the White House, you know, government, Congress, whatever, they have no idea the pain of the gas going up from $3 to $6, then $3 to $5, even from $4 to $5. They have no idea the pain, what that does to a bank account when it's already stretched so thin. And then you add on inflation towards it. You know, there's a reason that why I was so bearish on everything over the past few months. However, you know, street smarts aren't something that's really taken into account on Wall Street for whatever the reason. It's probably there, you know, who cares? I'm not going to be salty about it, but you know, they're starting to understand what's going on and they're rightfully making those cuts. So that makes me happy that I'm even holding Apple right now as a long-term hold here. I'm hoping Apple comes down a lot. I think it's overbought, and I think it needs to come down drastically over the next 6 months, and I'll be happy to buy it all up. But the good news I saw as well is Apple's also taking some manufacturing out of China and putting it into India. And that makes me very happy, especially if we have some trouble with China over the next few years as far as the Taiwan Strait and stuff like that. I would love to have not have Apple's supply chain be disrupted from China. China can just say, oh yeah, we got to get this extra permit now. Oh, there's an extra little problem we have here that, you know, all these iPhones have to wait like an extra month, something like that. They're not going to have those problems with India. At least I hope not. At least I hope not, right? Let's see. And GT, if the world conflicts keeps ramping up, will the Fed have to pivot? I mean, yes, but world conflict isn't getting worse. It's probably getting better, I guess, unless Russia really does start launching off nukes and stuff. You're probably just going to see the war in Ukraine kind of fizzle out eventually, unless there's really some like really big drastic move. I know they're talking about the mobilization and stuff. I don't see how the effective those troops are going to be unless they have months of training, cohesion, strategies, competent commanders. So we'll see how that works out. But a nuke can change the entire equation, of course. But I think what's going to happen here is eventually we're going to hit that designated rate of rate hikes, so like the 4s, or probably the 4s, hopefully not above the 5s. But we're going to hit that level of like, let's say 4.5%, 4.75%. That's going to be the level we're going to be aiming for. Then what he's going to do is just slow down and just stop altogether. And once he gives us the okay that hey, we've stopped, the market will get a nice bounce out of that. But will that bounce be enough to, you know, combat all the bad economic data, recession, jobless rates, all that type of crap that comes along with it? Will that actually have an effect? But yeah, I don't see him stopping rates anytime soon. And also, you guys have to remember this. The economy is going to be very hard to fix itself after all said and done, because you guys have to think about it in this way as far as inflation. So, you know, inflation is normally about 1 to 3%, let's say 2 to 3% on average. Right? So we're normally like here. Okay. Well, over the past few years, you know, I think like 2021, it kind of really ticked off with the free money that was given. I forget the actual act, America Act, whatever. We really started to spike. Okay. During this time frame, we're kind of like in this peak where we thought we were coming down, like in that little bit of a dip right here. We don't know if we're going to be coming down or breaking out, but that's not the point. Inflation is not going to go back down to the point where we get negative inflation. So that means that all the breakfast cereals that you guys bought, that are like up like 20%, all the chips that are more expensive, all the cars that are more expensive, all the other stuff that's more expensive. You know, maybe cars is going to be a little bit easier, but a lot of the groceries and big products you have, what business out there is going to be like, well, all these people were willing to pay $500 for this TV. Well, now that it's costing me less money because the supply chain issues are fixed, am I going to start charging $400 for that TV again, like I did in 2020 or 2019? No, people are paying for it at $500 now. I might as well just keep it there. The companies and corporations aren't going to have an incentive to lower their prices once inflation fixes itself. All that inflation means, all the data that we're looking at, it just means that in the last year, prices have only gone up 2%. Last year, it's only gone up 2%. But what's happening now is people are somehow assuming, like this is the average person that's just kind of getting into inflation for the first time. Oh no, costs have gone up a lot, but after inflation is over, all the things that I like eggs, bacon, whatever, those prices are going to somehow come down dramatically. That's not going to happen. They're still going to be slowly going up, but just not at a fast enough rate for you to pay attention to it. So bringing that into the inflationary talk now, or excuse me, the recessionary talk, a person that used to have, how do I explain this in a decent way? The people that are losing jobs or don't have enough money that are still combating inflation, those high prices. Remember, if bacon only goes down like maybe 1 to 2% or doesn't really go down at all over the next year, you're still going to be living that paycheck to paycheck life. And then even at a recession, a lot of the people that are living paycheck to paycheck have multiple jobs. They're probably going to get laid off of one of those, two of those jobs. So it's going to be a nasty spiral. And on top of that, you add in unemployment. Unemployment had special leverage positions in it built in for COVID. So instead of having a basic like $500 a week paycheck, you were making like a $1,100 a week paycheck as you had $600 of extra stimulus funding. They're not going to have that funding this time. So with inflation, you're going to see that $500 a week not go very far, especially if that one guy making $500 a week, his apartment costs like $1,500, $2,000 a month. All of that money is going to be going straight to rent and food. Nothing going to be going out at a restaurant, nothing for gas to go out. Inflation makes everything much more tricky, but nobody wants to talk about how businesses aren't just going to lower the cost of their goods because they every day that Coca-Cola has their sodas more expensive now than they did before, they're collecting data. Hey, people are still buying stuff. And guess what? If they can't afford it next year when we go into like a full-blown recession, they're not going to say they can't afford it because it's too expensive. They're going to say they can't afford it because they lost their job or they don't have enough money, not because our product is too expensive. So they'll keep it at those prices, maybe do more sales every now and again, but they're still not going to really lower the ultimate price of their product that you guys see on the wall with those little, sticker things. So keep that in mind, everybody. That's what's going to make this recession so much worse than it has to be. Everybody's going to say inflation's coming down, but you're not going to see the price of goods go down. You're just going to say year over year, the price of goods did not increase by as much as the previous year. That's what's really going on now. So get ready for all that talk to happen pretty soon. It's just going to be a mess. I hear the only way for Russia to win is to get messy. I mean, pretty much, yeah. They're going to have a hard time winning this war without some type of really big nuclear missile or some big bomb, hydrogen bomb, whatever they got. It's going to be messy. They're pulling out Soviet-era tanks right now. That's how desperate they are. I mean, this is not good. If you're pulling tanks from the 80s and 90s, it's probably not the good thing. You're probably not going to be winning that fight. Let's see. And hey, AZTV, right now we're testing out the lows. For the most part, you're going to most likely be seeing a lot of people buy at these levels with a stop loss of the 17,600 or so, like the lows from June. That's what's happening right now. We'll see if if we actually have a solid bounce. I'm hoping we do, but that bounce is getting harder and harder for us to achieve. I think if anything, it'll probably happen this Friday. I'm hoping the start of the bounce might happen sometime tomorrow or Friday. But if we're going to see some really aggressive moves, then it probably will be happening closer to Saturday. But if we can get back above $19,000 before Friday, closer to 19,500 to 20,000, we should have a really solid bounce come Saturday. Let's see. And hey, Geosamples is a stock named Sprout. Okay, stock. Okay, good. See, I always assume crypto, but I'm happy I asked you there first. SSI. Okay, SII. Sprout. Okay. Let's go to the weekly chart. Okay, so it's been growing over the past few years. That's awesome. COVID lows hit it pretty hard. It's probably going to crash pretty hard after that as well. Okay, so let's go to the weekly daily chart here. New lows for 2022. Okay. There is my horizontal ray. So for now, you might have an opportunity for this to bounce just because of where the market itself is, like the NASDAQ, you know, S&P and everything like that. You may have an opportunity. I wouldn't probably buy this. I'm thinking more long-term here, not short-term. I probably wouldn't buy this until it got anywhere between $28 and $31, primarily underneath $29, honestly. With how bad the economy can get over the next few months and 6 months or so, you might be able to get this for like 23 bucks, even as low as like 20 bucks. I doubt it will get lower than that, like in 2020, maybe. But I could see a good long-term accumulation position to be sometime between, excuse me, $20 and $25. That seems like where I'd want to buy for the long term here. Short term, however, is on Teamers, aren't we? Let's go over here. There we go. Just had a golden cross here as well. Geez, this thing is just not looking pretty, is it? Is there anything saying this is not going to be a nice bottom here? Oh, geez, what the heck? Yeah. Let's try this one again. Oh, hi. Stopped. Yeah, it kind of came out a little bit more, and it kind of messed up a lot of the support levels that you'd be looking for. I would be hesitant about buying this. The only other reason I could see buying this is maybe the RSI is saying it's an oversold territory. Let's go to the daily here very fast. Yeah, it's at 30. The RSI seems like it's a little oversold. That might be a good opportunity. For me, the aspect I'm looking at, it's kind of risky at this point. Long-term holding, though, as far as SSI or SII, a dividend of like 4%, that's pretty nice. That kind of makes me more likely to want to hold this for the long term. And it only has a $1 billion market cap, which is kind of small. I'd prefer to have it be like above 2 billion, honestly. That way, when it falls down, it could still be in the billion territory here. But it only has an income of around $35 million and sales of 217 million. So definitely a smaller company out there. Margins okay, not great, but okay. Insider owns only 18%. That's fine. Anything to be buying or selling? No. Volume is about the same. I would say it's a high risk trade. It just broke down, even though it bounced back up. That's probably just a technical bounce based off of what's going on with the market right now. But yeah, you could attempt to make a trade off of it. I mean, you know, I'd want to see a breakout or some type of pattern. You know, on the 4-hour chart, maybe if it manages tomorrow to break out above 33 bucks, you could hit it, sell it around 35 bucks, 36 bucks. That'd be a good opportunity. I'd be careful even of trading options on this one. I don't know how the options market works on some of these lower value traded stocks, but if it only has like 90,000 shares being shared, or yeah, if it only has like 70,000 shares being traded, it makes it more risky in the options market as far as finding liquidity. So finding somebody to sell you the shares in the first place and buy them back. And sometimes when that does happen, you have issues with getting the bid filled and getting the ask filled. So it's kind of complicated there. So be careful if you're doing options. But high risk trade, I'd really want to see some type of breakout though. And you can see right here, it's just been breaking down below the supports. It might have a technical rally. But even then, it's kind of a risky play here. There's nothing really symbolizing saying, hey, this is going to be a strong play that you should buy right now. And then, Michael, another big dump averted? Not yet, but, you know, I'm hoping we don't dump before the weekend. That way, Bitcoin can have a good chance of bouncing. Right now, I'm putting a lot of faith in the NASDAQ, as you know, and I'm waiting for that NASDAQ to just please hold. because if it can hold, I'll be happy. You know, the 200. Oh, this is the TEMA chart again. Ugh, okay, let me go back over here. There we go. Short. There you go. I really just want to see us bounce, even if that bounce is, you know, 2 weeks, like in like 4 weeks, like it was in the .com bubble. You know, that's the 2008 financial crisis one. If we can just pump up for like a week or two, then crash, I'd be very, very happy. If we start crashing, of course, that's like the end of times. But you know, any bounce we can take, I'd be very, very happy. And this has only happened twice, so we only have 2 times. But I'm hoping we can be 3 out of 3, bouncing off of the 200 weekly moving average, consolidating for a bit, and then eventually coming back down. My fear here is, you look at the 20-week moving average. You can see how it comes down always, or usually comes down after we've already crashed, after a big crash. And you really didn't see that happening for what? The crash was, don't put too much stock in what I'm telling you right now as far as like using it in the future. But you know, it was 35 days late. So like 4 weeks late after the crash. Over here in the .com bubble, it was about 48 days late. We're getting very, very close at this point with the NASDAQ, where the death cross is going to happen sometime over the next, around here. Probably somewhere in, I don't know how to. General arc here, guys. General, very general. Something like that. You know, sometime in December or January, if we kind of use that same 4-week kind of thing, that might happen sometime in October, more likely November. But you know, if we're going to have a bounce, it'd be an October bounce, November fall, December crash, maybe November crash. It all depends on how big the bounce is, of course. But yeah, for now, I'm hoping we have an opportunity to bounce off of this and just keep on moving higher. I know that SPY has found new lows for 2022. The Dow Jones has found new lows for 2022. The NASDAQ has not. I'm really hoping that the NASDAQ can kind of keep us all afloat. Because again, looking back at the SPY here, back what happened last time during we had the 2008 financial crisis. There we go. You know, we had a dip, and then we came back up during that NASDAQ bounce, even though we were well down below the 200 here, new yearly lows. And then we eventually crashed. So we found new yearly lows, then bounced over here during the .com bubble. Definitely a little bit different of a time, but you know, we bounced for a little bit of time and then crashed, mostly because the S&P didn't have as many tech heavy stocks, and it was like the tech bubble of the time, .com bubble. But it was able to relieve some of that. And then of course, this is where the crash really started, and then it got much, much worse. But it did have a pretty nasty dip, bounce, and then it came back down. And then you got, of course, got the Dow Jones. Well, look at the 2008 version of this, I think. Broke down below, hit resistance, which was the 200 weekly moving average, and then crashed. You look at it now, you know, we're already down below it. Let's hope we can find a way to break back above that sucker here, or you might just see a NASDAQ rally and an S&P kind of small rally, than a Dow Jones muddled rally here. But new yearly lows, I'm just really hoping the market fixes itself really fast. And of course, S&P and the NASDAQ have already been in bear market territory for a while here, but the Dow hasn't. You know, bear market territory is down 20% from high to lows. Just today, you know, we're down 21.63%, finally getting to that 20% plus range. So, you know, now that all three are in the bear market, you know, now we have the Trinity, and it's just not good. But yeah, I'm hoping we can bounce. Besides all that nasty stuff, I'm hoping the technicals kind of repeat history. History repeats itself, and we have a nice bounce off of all of that. I don't know about a pivot. They might just stop hiking or pause. I would say stop hiking, or see, I don't even know. There's two different things. Pausing is one and stopping is another. I would say they should come up with an announcement saying we're stopping rate hikes. We're not lowering them, but we're stopping. That would give the market a big boost and get a lot of confidence, and it would start bringing the value of the dollar down. Value of the dollar down. Europe goes back up. Britain goes back up a little bit. trade starts to pick up a little bit since things aren't as expensive. Oil's not as expensive because everything's controlled by the dollar. You know, the dollar standard here with the, as far as oil is concerned, that'd be a good help. Now, once we start lowering stuff down, that'll be a nice reprieve, but he's not going to start lowering the rate hikes or, you know, cutting rates until inflation is at 2%. He's been freaking adamant about that. If he changes his mind, awesome. I'd appreciate that. But, you know, we won't know if he should even change his mind until down the road at this point. Let's see. GT, to be fair, the best current model era tank is the late 80s Abrams. Granted, they are consistently modified. Oh, that actually sounds kind of fun. But what do you call it? If you're bringing them out of storage, it just feels weird to me. Like, I feel like Russia, I don't know why I thought they had so many more tanks and equipment just ready to go for this war. I don't think they were ready for the fight back or, you know, an actual battle. ADA, yeah, I can look at ADA very fast. ADA is I don't know, it's been getting a little shaky lately just because of all the volatility it had. So let me go over here to the here. All right. Actually, it hasn't had too much volatility the last few days. Just like a lot of the coins right now, you're at that buying point. Oh, that's a circle. We need a elliptical ellipse. There you go. So you're kind of in this nice good green buying zone. A little bit risky, but what you're looking at right now primarily is not even just this general buying zone, but remember it's there. You're looking at this localized bottom here. As long as we don't break down or cross down below 0.042 cents, you could actually buy right now if you wanted to and hope for somewhat of a short-term reversal back up here to 46 cents. I'd still be a little bit more cautious about it until Bitcoin finds its way. But if you wanted to buy around 43 cents right now, your stop loss would be very small. It wouldn't be too much at all. It'd be somewhere around like 2%. I'd probably give it a 2 to 3% stop loss just so, you know, you can give it a little bit more time. But let's see. If you're going to be doing this, your resistance points are going to be something like, I mean, oh gosh, we don't even have a low yet, do we? It might be somewhere up here around 44 and a half cents. 46 cents and all up here like 45 and a quarter cents. Pretty risky at this point, but if you're going to buy, you probably just want to give yourself a 2 to 3% stop loss here. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Oh, these are all TMAs. That's why I don't have the moving averages on right now. Expect a pretty decent move to happen sometime at the middle of the night, next 4 or 5 hours or so. That's where you could possibly see a pretty nice reversal. If I was to bet, I mean, I would say this is an opportunity to buy right now. I'd be happy to buy this around 43 cents, 42 cent stop loss. So I'm risking a penny per coin, penny per share, if you will. And then from there, hopefully it can just get back up to 44, 48 cents. I'd be happy to get to 45 cents. I'd probably scale at 50% right there just because ADA has been fine, but not great for me. But you know, buy right now 45 cents, or even 44 cents is 2%, 45 cents up here is like 5%. I'd be happy with that 5% right there. I'm hoping though that somehow it can pick up some of the volatility. I don't know why I haven't looked at this in a while. I was hoping for this volatility where it got pumped up a grand total like 47% from the highs, or even this one, I guess, pumped up like 23%. I would kind of hope for that to happen, but you're really gonna need to see Bitcoin bounce. So I'd be okay with buying, but this might be like a week-long hold if you're gonna be really trying to make some good money out of it. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna be trading something like Ethereum on leverage if you want that quick money fast. And hey, Blake, no, nothing on this screen is mine. Like it's, I know the guy that developed this stuff, so it's all coded and stuff like that. But this is Tradingview. It's Tradingview. It's a simple application to use. They have a free version, a paid version. I use the $50, $60 a month paid version, or $50 a month if you pay it yearly, which I do. If you want to get this, I would say hold off until November for Black Friday. They sell everything like it's like half off, so you can get this for like a really good deal. Until then, you could probably pay for 20 bucks a month if you want the really basic version, or you can go with the free version, which is fine, but it has like pop-up ads, which is kind of annoying. You brought your toy in here? Okay. Sorry, Loki came in here. He was making noise, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" But yeah, Tradingview is really, really nice. I recommend it. If I didn't do YouTube, I probably wouldn't be using it too much, except for maybe crypto stuff. I normally trade options, so the majority of my time is actually spent on TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim platform, which looks very, very old compared to this, honestly. But yeah, it's Tradingview is a really good platform. If you want any tips on it, I have a few videos on it. It's right here. And hey, Ghost, we appreciate all of you for all the videos. Oh, thank you very much. There you go. Hey, dude, what are you doing? Loki's over here trying to bite my leg off, pretending he's biting a toy. Here. There you go. See, I don't know if I'll come up or not. He's looking at me. There you go. I don't know if he wants it. Or he probably wants me to throw it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Now, oh no, he's still looking at me. He wants to play. And hey, Blake, can you connect to other web services or data sources? Yeah. So with TradingView, you can actually connect. Dude, stop trying to bite it next to my thighs. I'm freaking gonna eat me like a turkey. What you can do is go down here to the bottom. You can open up this maximize panel. Oh no, not the script. Trading panel. There you go. And you can connect to your exchange so you can trade directly off of this site if you wanted to. Most people I know have Interactive Brokers or paper trading account or TradeStation. Maybe a couple have Bitstamp or Gemini. I don't know about those two, but there's a lot of opportunities to make money. I trade all my Forex on TD Ameritrade. I trade all my options at TD Ameritrade, all my stock positions, day trades, all at TD Ameritrade. So I don't really need to use this. But if you want to learn how to trade full time, you could use paper trading by TD Ameritrade, and you can use their services. It works really well. Now, other thing you might want to use here is Stock Screener. I use Finviz, and I have tons of videos on Finviz, so watch those ones because Finviz is much better than the Stock Screener they have here. But the Stock Screener on TradingView, it's really crazy. It's very detailed, I guess you would say, but it's just very, very, very steep learning curve, and you can't combine everything like you can with TD Ameritrade as far as, like, you know, screener setting, my preset. I want to look for a buy and hold value stock. Oh, there's none of those right now. Yeah, bear market. Here we go. High relative volume. You know, I can put all these things together and find the stock I'm looking for. And communication equipment, Harmonic Inc., whatever this is, it probably would be fun for me to day trade a little bit if it wasn't so cheap at $11. But you know, SMA crossover. Dude, nothing is doing good right now. Oh, that's because it popped up here. Super breakouts. It has to be fun. Yeah, okay, here we go. It says 7, but I only see 1. Oh well. But basically, this is much, much better. Short squeeze. There you go. But yeah, so I like this a lot better. I can even do basic and stuff like that where it goes over a lot more detail. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff working in here. A lot. I even have filter set up in this one. So there's a lot of stuff you can change, a lot, but I don't like to change it like that. There you go. Okay. And then Mr. Judgment Peppers, I know, right? He's been chilling out a lot. He's mad at me because I bought him a new toy and he loves it, but he doesn't want to play with it when I'm not in the room, which is like, dude. And Chili coin, Chili. I mean Chiliz. I'm assuming you're just gonna say Chiliz here. All right, so Chiliz coin. I mean, I have quite a bit of this. Honestly, if it falls down below the 50-week moving average, I'm going to scale out like 75% of my Chiliz coin and just hope that over the next few months it comes all the way back down here to like 8 cents or so. This is one of those examples of what I bought, like a lot of coins, like a UFO coin, a Spell token, Hubi token, like, you know, a lot of those coins during the June lows. You know, from the lows to the highs, it went up like 247%. Not as much as my UFO coin, but, you know, I bought kind of have an average around like what? No, it's closer to 10 cents, not 9, like 10 cents. You know, I'm up like 126% right now. If it drops down below that, I'll probably only be making like 112% profit, but 112% profit, and I'll buy more coins as it comes back down so I can accumulate more. But I'd be very, very cautious of this one, particularly since it's rallied up so much and it doesn't really have doesn't have, oh, wait, let me say this. It's actually at a level of resistance right now. That's my concern for it. However, if you want to buy this, I'd try to buy this as close to the 50-week moving average as possible. And then from there, if you go over here to the daily chart, just try to stay above this general trend line. That's all you can really say. Stay above this trend line. She might do fine. I don't assume she's going to completely break down. If it does break down below this trend line, I think you might go sideways for a little bit and try to hold the support level right here of around 17 cents, 1776. God bless America. But what do you call, you know, have more of a bouncing and then eventually break down below the 200 daily moving average, causing a couple death crosses to follow sometime in early October. So be careful with it. But I wouldn't be trying to buy this until it hits maybe closer to 21 cents if you can, and then try to hope for the reversal instead of the breakdown to happen right there. And hey, Dr. V, for my girlfriend, how much do you see baby Doge worth in 8 years? Thank you. Let me check that out first. I don't even know what baby Doge's price is at this point. Baby. Market cap of $135 million. Oh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard just because of the, what do you call, baby Doge. What was the market cap this year? How high? I only got 200 million. I would say if you're lucky during the next big bear market or bull market, you might be able to get it up to, with the meme ability here, with the meme ability, you might be able to get it up to 800 million to $1 billion market cap. And this is with a lot of money flowing in 2024. I would say most likely somewhere around like next 2 years, somewhere close to 800 million market cap. And then from there, it got to 200 million this cycle. What I'd probably think of it, let me see if there's something that, where can I buy this at? Gate.io. All right, remember that. What's the ticker here? Baby Doge. Okay, let's Gate.io. There we go. I don't really have much information here, do I? That'd be how much percent? Where's the percent? Why doesn't it have the percent on it? Oh, that sucks. Okay. You might see it close to up here, anywhere from 213,447 as the last few numbers, all the way up here to 527,610 or so. It doesn't actually tell me this, it doesn't actually tell me the percentage for some reason, probably because there's so many numbers here. Yeah, the numbers are just too much where it doesn't give me the percentage. That kind of sucks. But yeah, I could see it getting up here to here. If you're really lucky, it'll kind of get into this zone. But this is like, for me, this would be meme zone. Realistically, without a big push, like without being on Robinhood or Webull or, you know, on a bunch of exchanges, it's most likely going to hit this range. Maybe that's even maybe like a $600 million market cap. But meme zone up here is where you want to be. You're gonna have to wait to see if it can become a meme, and for that, you want to see it get on many more exchanges. Now, at the same time, since it's only on a very limited amount of exchanges right now, you know, might be okay to buy some of it, just kind of hold it and see where it goes. Primarily buying it when the crash happens, whenever that does happen. But you know, buy low, sell high down the road. This is something worth, I'd probably put like a couple $100 into it as a meme play. Let it sit, see what happens, and hope that I can get on a couple more exchanges. If it gets on Binance, that's huge. If it gets on KuCoin, that's huge. That's what you need to have happen. And usually when it's like this low of a market cap, I'm really excited to buy into it. That's why, you know, Monica, you know, I told you guys about BGB back in the day, back when it was 6 cents, because I was like, hey, this is a very, very low market cap coin. Let's go to the market cap coin, year, 3 months. Okay, it doesn't have that, doesn't track it. But you were here. You remember last September when I told you guys about it? Oh geez, a year to date. There you go. Back over here during my birthday last year, I told you guys, hey, I'm buying a bunch of this up. It's, you know, BitGetCoin. BitGet's a very big company. They just don't have a lot of market cap for their coin. Don't know why, but I'm going to buy it up. And all of a sudden, you know, it took a while. It's not like I just held and it went up. I never get that type of timing right. At least for all of these type of coins. And you know, and boom, it started rocketing up towards 20 cents. It just hit like 21 cents again yesterday or the day before. And I'm still, you know, happy to continue buying all this up here. But that's the trajectory you want. And this market cap here is like not even $100 million at this point, or maybe it is. I don't even know. I haven't been able to check it for a while. But yeah, it should be interesting to watch and see how that plays out. But $600 to $800 million market cap realistically, if it goes to memeability, which I think it can, just because of the help with Dogecoin there, then you have a good chance of taking it up to the meme sector there. And hey, Farron, as far as Ethereum, it's barely holding support right now. I hope it can hold support, but it's at a very dangerous level. So if you're going to be buying it, you want to give yourself a 3 to 4% stop loss. And after that, you're just going to be chilling and waiting to see what happens. Most people are going to be trying to buy right now in this general zone for a bunch of other assets and hope that Bitcoin and the NASDAQ can both bounce off of these lows and then move up even higher after that. And no worries, Ollie. See, and hey, Chican, what do I see Shiba in 2 years, assuming it survives this bear market? It should survive, but the scary thing about Shiba here, guys, is it just fell down so much compared to everything else. Like, here's the weekly chart. Remember, guys, we bought Shiba over here, and I was like, hey, this is going pretty slow. It's called the Doge killer. What did I say? It's gonna have to pop eventually, so let's just kind of buy it and hold it. It took weeks of holding this before it boomed up, and I was like, oh, I own this, don't I? And then, of course, you know, you saw the profit up here. It was like 1,000% profit. The funny thing about this is, Secret Fish, I was just talking to him the other day. He's the one that shorted it down from the top and just started this whole tank. Like, he's the guy that shorted that down. But as far as Shiba is concerned, next time all-time highs, you know, I'd like it to see it get up here. Let me see if I can actually just do this. Probably the lows we're going to spend somewhere down here. So somewhere up here, not like a crazy high, because I don't know how much money is going to be going into this. I think they're going to have to do a lot of business partnerships like Dogecoin is if they want to really get more credible. One of the reasons this dumped so much is because so much of this is by not long-term traders. They're just here for a quick buck. And you really saw them like really give out during this time frame where we came back to the lows of 2021. A lot of coins aren't anywhere close to the lows of 2021. So, you know, I would say anywhere from the last high, probably to 50% higher than that. So, because it had a very large market cap at that point in time. So, you know, I don't know, somewhere over here, like 0.00015358. So if you bought right now, I mean, kind of a guess, my point, like, you know, 1,300%. So a nice rally here, but hopefully you can just buy and hold and let's see what happens with it. DVPN, yeah, I've talked about this before. It's a good one. Oh no, never mind. This is not what I'm thinking of. DVPN. Okay, never mind. Not what I was talking about at all. Let's see. I was thinking about Devon Energy for some reason, which is just D. So this is coming down and down more and more and more. This is going to be like a bag holder event. Basically, there's going to be a lot of people that have bags. This is something that you would only want to buy for a long-term position. You don't really want to hope for any type of short-term reversal. If it comes, it comes, but timing these things can be very brutal. 45% up, 35% up. Your best bet is going to be to try to do something like this, where you dollar cost average for a few days, hope that the bounce is so much that no matter what happens with your position, like right here, you still walk away with like a 40% profit, a 20% profit. You still walk with a profit, right? You never know, like you could start dollar cost averaging here, get an average of about this, pop up in a few days later for like 18% profit. It's going to be very hard to time this. So you probably want to do a dollar cost average for like 3-4 days in a row. Just let it sit, not too much money, wait for a potential bounce. And after the bounce, you walk away with a bunch of money and you don't hop back into this for a little bit of time because, you know, eventually it will keep on draining your portfolio. So be very careful about this one. As far as what it's actually doing though, I mean, like, let's see, what is this? TVPN. What's the market cap here? 7 million. This is a very, very micro cap coin. So there's two things. You're going to be playing with it. It's very, very risky, very, very dangerous. That's fine. So you know it's a very, very dangerous play, very, very risky play. That's fine. But since it has such a small market cap, it's ranked 839. You can just toss like 20 bucks right now and see if it goes somewhere in the future. And then if it doesn't go anywhere in the future, you just lose 20 bucks. I'd be more inclined to just toss 10, 15, 20 bucks on this thing. Let it sit for like years and see what happens with it. Because if it's at $7 million market cap, if it goes to 500 million, $1 billion market cap, for whatever reason in the future, they really get their act together. They really have a solid business team and model, you know, it could really do great things for you. But it'd be like, hey, I'm not spending 20 bucks at the casino tonight because I put 20 bucks on Sentinel. Right? And as I'm looking at this, it's only on a handful of exchanges, but one of those handful of exchanges is KuCoin. You know, Osmosis doesn't seem like it's really active on there. Same with Sif Chain, not really active on there. Try to find it on KuCoin, plop in 20 bucks and see what happens. If you're already in it, be very, very careful. You're just going to be waiting for that bounce, and however high that bounce gives you, you're probably just going to take the profit and run at this point. Okay, but okay, everybody, I'm going to call it a night right now. I need to go eat some dinner because I'm starving, and Loki needs to go use the bathroom. He's looking over my shoulder right now, and he's just not pleased with me. But let me see right here. So we will see you guys tomorrow. I won't see you guys Thursday night because it's my birthday, but I will see you guys Thursday afternoon, probably around noon or something like that. Okay, so before I leave, there you go. You can see Loki's ears. Loki, there you go. Come here. Oh, good boy. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Oh, see, he doesn't like playing games. Okay, come here. I'm sorry. There you go. Oh, you scratched my face, dude. Okay, we'll see you guys a little bit later. Thanks for